welcome.
Whoa, you jumped the gun there. Hey, welcome to the 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl, broadcasting you live from Fishbowl Studios here in Bedford, Texas. We are powered by the OBBM Network and brought to you by the Biker Wolf Pack, Glenn Lawson Accident and Injury Attorneys. If you ride, make sure you have the Biker Wolf Pack on your side. Give them a call. Oh, give them a call 737 The Wolf. That's 737 The Wolf. Don't be fooled by those billboard attorneys, man, that are going to pass you off to low-level attorneys. With the Biker Wolf Pack, you are in-house and taken care of individually. So check them out, 737 The Wolf. Welcome, Pitbull.
What's up?
Oh man, it's been one hell of a week.
It has.
We got a lot of stuff to cover today, but before we start, this as we always do, today's show we want to dedicate to a Baldwin Park police officer who in California who was shot and killed, and his partner was seriously wounded as they were ambushed responding to a shots fired call over this weekend. So today's show is dedicated to Samuel Riveras and his partner Darius Wong. If we can just have a quick moment of silence, and I'm going to just say a quick prayer for our brothers and sisters in blue. Loving God, we pray for the souls of our fallen officers. May we find eternal peace in the heavenly kingdom. Comfort their families with assurance that their loved ones are at peace. Grant us all the strength to honor their memory by fostering peace and unity in our communities. Thank you. Also, just got word, another loss, who was a guest. He's been a guest on the 99% Radio Network, and he was a guest on a Badge of Honor. Charles, they call him Chief Clark. He runs the Blue Voice. So if anybody knows, it goes on Facebook, any law enforcement that goes on Facebook, and you know the Blue Voice, Charles Clark has passed away. He's come to cancer. He was diagnosed a few months ago, and it rapidly took him. So please say a prayer for the Clark family, his wife, his mom, and keep them in your prayers as well. So, well, I don't want to start the show off on a bad note, but you know what? We have to give honors where honors are due, and respect. We always want to remember him and show respect. So how's it going, Pipple?
Oh, just peachy.
Just peachy. Peachy. This weekend I had the pleasure of going to Texas Harley Davidson right here in Bedford, where they had the Corvette takeover. If you missed that,
I did. So tell me about it.
Oh,
tell me about it. Tell me what I missed.
Oh, Micah Long knocked it out of the park along with everybody from Texas Harley Davidson. Man, the ambassador of fun really made it a fun day.
You can't have that title and fuck it up.
No. 263 Corvettes at Harley Davidson.
Yes.
They had a 1953 just sitting there, white and red. They had the Batman Corvette, the Iron Man Corvette, the Blue Angels Corvette. They had a Navy Corvette. I mean, there was every type of Corvette.
And a lot of them are veterans too. That
many
have
of them.
Those. I mean, it's a veteran Corvette club, right?
Yep. No. It wasn't strictly for veterans, but a lot of them are veterans that own the Corvettes.
So I saw the interview you did.
Yeah, T is one of the founders. He's a veteran, and him and a couple other guys used to meet. Just two or three of them would meet.
I'm calling him Popeye.
2 or 3 of them would just meet and discuss their car and a whole bit, and before you knew it, it grew. So it's not really a club. There's no rules. There's no nothing. It's just a meetup.
Well, you have to have a Corvette.
You got to have a Corvette, or you could wish you had a Corvette.
Or you can date a guy with a Corvette.
Or you can date a guy.
Or you can date a girl with a Corvette.
All right. So
right.
Or you can date a guy and a girl with a Corvette if you're into those trips, threesomes.
Now you're getting too pineapple for me.
No. Man, we got
next.
Once again, we got a great show. We got Glenn Lawson coming in. We got Flex coming in. We got Mongo, and then we got Lori Montoya.
Where
with Biker
in the
Down.
world is
Where is
Lori?
Lori's just coming off a cruise.
Yeah.
So we got to hear all her antics that happen on a cruise. But we're going to take a quick break to hear from Glenn Lawson Law, and then we'll be back right after this.
Biker Wolfpack Law is a safety organization founded by myself alongside Robert Howell with the primary focus of motorcycle safety, advocacy for injured bikers, and just general protection for those injured while riding motorcycles in the great state of Texas. Biker Wolfpack Law is a division of Glenn Larson Law Injury Attorneys, which is my firm. What's different about Biker Wolfpack Law is it's a community-based, event-based connection component to make sure that motorcyclists have all of the safety information they need, all of the legal information they need, and frankly, if needed, that full-blown legal advocacy in times of injury through no fault of their own.
One of our big events is we do ASM classes, which are accident scene management classes, which are put on with the Road Guardians, group of riders that are usually EMTs, doctors, nurses that also ride. And so they know what can happen when you're out there by yourself. And so it's a very intense class, like how to do tourniquets, how to get a helmet off of a person without hurting their neck more, how to get somebody out of the middle of the road. We do those a couple times a year, and the more safe riders are out there, the better it is.
The second division and component of Biker Wolfpack Law is to sponsor local musicians at bike nights or other community events that involve motorcyclists, but also just the community as a whole. And then third is larger charity organization events or rides to get out in the fresh air and have some fun. What I love most about representing bikers and motorcyclists across the great state of Texas is really one thing. It's about hearing the story. It's about going to motorcycle events, constantly meeting new people and making new connections. One of the reasons why I started Biker Wolfpack Law was to defeat and counteract many of the biases that are out there that, quote, motorcyclists are just dangerous. Make sure that motorcyclists are seen as exactly who they are, very hardworking, very responsible, and very dedicated individuals that deserve the justice that they need.
Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network. You're in a fishbowl, man. Once again, we got a lot of stuff going on. We got some big events coming up throughout the entire summer. Starting next week, Saturday, Texas Harley Davidson is having a family fun day. And they're getting a bounce house, some face painters. Mm-hmm. But the ultimate aspect of that is they are filling up 1,000 water balloons and having a huge water balloon fight in the parking lot. How much fun is that?
I'm totally down for that.
Oh, are you going to be there? And you're
I'm going to try. I'm going to try to get there. Yes. I don't have my kid, but I would totally enjoy that.
You bring him.
Well, no, he's going. No, he's going on a trip for a week. Oh, yeah, he's going to do like a grandma trip.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, he's going to Florida?
No, not that grandma. Oh, yeah, other side of the family.
He goes with that other grandma in Florida.
I need to have way more paperwork. He's come back with a different kid. I have way more paperwork if my mom was taking him.
No, if he's out there with poodles.
No, he's staying in the state. He's just going with the other side of the family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Family reunion. So I'm kid free for a week.
Nice. Well, you still got Springer and the old man.
True.
There you go.
Thanks for fucking that up.
Hey, once again, man, if you want to call in, be part of the show, 214-556-6239. Yes. It's 214-556-6239. Tell us what your plans are for this summer and your riding experience. Any of your events that you are hosting or going out on.
I have a few things. I have my event coming up.
There's one coming up this weekend. Yeah, it's the Ryan Strong Foundation.
Yes.
Is going off this week. I had the pleasure, I think 2 years ago, going to the Ryan Strong motorcycle run, and it was amazing turnout. You could not stop crying because you were just heartwarmed by all the support that the communities bring to this event. It was really look it up on Facebook, Ryan Strong motorcycle ride. And be a part of that. Donate to it and help that family get through another trying time.
So that's June 7th at Black Gold.
That's June 7th at Black and Gold. Yep.
Black Gold. That's like near Allen-ish.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Black and Gold Harley.
McKinney, Allen. Yeah.
Yep.
That's where I did my first pinup contest.
Really?
Yeah.
They still got your picture on the wall?
I don't know. I haven't been up there. It's far. It's far. Yeah. I love that.
Well, before we bring in Glenn, let's talk about your Beers and Betties.
Ooh, so it's just in the beginning process of our planning, but Beers and Betties, as you know, is near to my heart because it has something to do with roll call. So every July, the past 3 years, this is going to be our third annual Beers and Betties. Roll call does not do a luncheon in July, so we, as the Battling Betties, host a happy hour.
Nice.
But this is going to be a pizza happy hour this time.
All right.
So new location. We're not doing it at our old location because we need more space. So it's going to be at the Perry's Pizzeria and Tap House off 35 near Alliance.
Okay.
And what is great about that location is that what Perry's does, they give 20% back. So every tab, every ticket, like 20% of that, they donate
back to roll call
or whatever cause. So even if not my charity, like if you have an event coming up that you want to do, I mean, that's a perfect place to do that. I mean, 20% back. That's huge.
And for those that don't know what roll call is, go to roll-call.org. Roll call started off with about 15 veterans just having lunch in a diner, and it blew up to now it's close to almost 500 veterans.
There's a lot,
almost 500 veterans a month. So what the Battling Betties and volunteers do is they give serve meals to all these veterans. They bring in guest speakers, and they actually honor our veterans and give them, not a chow line. They don't have to get up. They are
sit down,
served, it's a nice plate,
home cooked meal.
Yes, yeah, and I think that is something that's well deserved.
And that's one thing roll call does.
Yeah,
I mean that's the main thing that the veterans have something to look forward to each month, is their luncheon, and so that's why we want to join in on July because that's the one month they don't have it because a lot of times it's too hot in July. So getting everybody to get into that gymnasium gets a little hot, so they kind of don't do it in July because it's super hot. That's why we do happy hour.
I was there last year, man. That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of
fun. And if you can just you don't have to be a veteran to participate, but you get down there and you speak to some of these old time veterans from World War II and the Korean War, and you learn so much history. You'll learn more in 2 hours at one of these events than you will in a whole history class in school, because you get the real thoughts, the real feelings, and you hear the stories, and they just, man, you just want to hug them and say thank you for everything that you've done for us. Because if not for our veterans, remember, if not for our veterans, we would not be on the air right now speaking to you. It would be a whole different thing, man. Right. So a lot of veterans, a lot of fought and died so we can be here today. So we have to be very thankful for everything we do for our veterans.
Our first Beers and Betties that we did, Don Graves was there saying the national anthem at our first Beers and Betties. I mean, that was like, we had to live up to that each year, but it's great because I mean, they come out, it's just beer, pizza, burgers. The veterans get a discount. We're probably going to do some raffles like we've done before, which obviously you come down, buy a ticket, do the raffles. But what's great is, like I said, the ticket, 20% of that goes to the cause, and getting around like-minded people, and it's a good recruiting place for roll call as well, because a lot of people don't know. I mean, a lot of people do know about roll call, but a lot of young veterans don't know about roll call. They think, it's just a bunch of old guys. No, you need to go. I mean, the stories that you hear and everything. I mean, it's
veterans. It's veterans from the past to the present.
Yes.
I mean, people who are still actively serving, go there because it's good to connect with the past, man. Because it builds your spirits. So if you're feeling down, if a lot of our veterans who are fighting post-traumatic stress, this is a place where you're not alone, because everybody in that building is feeling the same thing you're feeling. You can connect, you can share, you can speak your mind. There's no judgment, and it is a way to release anything. And for you old timers who are out there that are sitting on the couch, you have nothing to do all day, but go out and get the mail and just watch Judge Judy all day.
I like Judge Judy. Don't you knock her.
It's a day to get out there.
She's a feisty bitch. I like her.
It's a day to get out with your friends and like-minded people. So look at roll-call.org and sign up and be a part of it.
Yeah. And like I said, like we were talking about,
it fills up fast.
It does. So every month they have the luncheon like we were talking about. It takes it used to be $10 to feed a veteran, but now obviously it's about maybe $15 to $20 now. So those $15, $20 that we raise feeds that veteran for those luncheons that we do. But roll call does other things. They don't just have the luncheon. They did the clay shoot. They did a lot of parades, and we see them at every event that we go to. Roll raffles, calls there and stuff. So
it never costs the veterans a dime.
Yeah, you just show up. Get on their newsletter.
You know what was really impressive is the church that they're doing, the first church they started doing it in, the pastor was like, wow, we're getting crowded, we're getting big, we're getting, this is really we're running out of room. So he went to Roy Davis and he said, listen, if you can move this to another church for a little bit, let us expand. And the church added on.
Yeah. They did.
Built a whole new place for them to fit more veterans, because even the church saw what Roll Call was doing and said, we want to be a part of this, and give back. So I thought, I forgot the name of the church, but God bless that church for doing it. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to bring in our guest for a segment who's got so much key talking points that he wants to share with us. We're going to bring up Glenn Lawson with the Biker Wolfpack right after this. Oh!
The reason why I made the decision to found and open Glenn Larson Law is for one simple reason. Every single client deserves to have their voice heard, their recovery made, and most of all, the closure and the compensation that they deserve. It has been my personal mission and personal dedication to making sure that every single thing we do with every ounce of loyalty, honor, certainty, and absolute unity to make sure that our client's story is told every single time. This is why I founded Glenn Larson Law.
Me and Glenn go way back. We first met in middle school. We were in high school together. We also worked together in college, waiting tables our first couple of years of school. And so we worked in the service industry together for a few years. So that kind of kept our tight bond together.
At Glenn Larson Law Injury Attorneys, we are passionate about serving our clients by honoring their stories, their voices, and their recovery. Our firm is built on the foundational principles of honor, certainty, passion, unity, and loyalty. To achieve our vision, we uphold our loyalty to our clients, each other, ourselves, our families, and our clients' families and friends in every single thing that we do. We are dedicated to providing exceptional support and guidance, ensuring that every client's journey is respected and valued. With absolute certainty, we stand ready. Call us. We are here to serve you in your time of injury, to make sure that you receive the compensation, the closure, and most of all, that your story is told.
We had a pizza explosion.
Yes, we did. I'm excited.
For our guest brought in pizza and meatballs from
Those are the
Joe's?
meatballs.
You said, or you
I would say Buffalo.
Buffalo
Joe's.
It's
Those
from
are the
Buffalo
meatballs.
Joe's, from where we were broadcasting a couple weeks ago, where we lost our audio.
We never had it.
But the Honor Guard VC was so grateful enough to bring this in and supply. So I want to thank you guys. We're going to be bringing them on in a minute. But first, I want to introduce Glenn Lawson with the Biker Wolfpack. Glenn, what's going on, brother?
Hey, thanks for having me. Going up and down 35 like always. Are we good on the mic and this crazy camera here?
2.
You're all good. You're all good.
Okay. So what I remember about the late 80s was Headbangers Ball. And so, we're going to talk about that a little bit today because there's something really interesting that's going on. There is a group that is supporting the 988 suicide hotline and the Vibrant Health Foundation that's there behind the origin of that. And Ricky Rackman and his wife and all of them are riding 13,000 miles from Key West to Alaska. And they're going to be stopping off in Texas, and my firm is going to be involved in that. And check out their cause all across the United States, raising money and really being present. And we're going to be there, hoping to meet up with them on June 16th while they're making their way north from South Texas and kind of up this way.
I'm looking at that June 15th itinerary, which is really pretty cool because it's Ricky will celebrate his birthday in Kingland, Texas.
Yep.
And at the original house from the 1974 horror classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And they will meet up with Alan Dazagar.
That's what it says. Yep.
One of the stars of the movie. And everybody is invited, man. So if you can make your way out June 15th to Kingsland, Texas. Go to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, movie site, and you're going to meet up with some great people, some people from the original movie, the cast. So that's pretty exciting, man.
And it's just about how like two wheels hitting the road and making sure that there's so many crossover things that we're all passionate about. Of course, mine is music, because I grew up, all my family were musicians. I was basically.
And you became a lawyer?
I was kicked out of the band.
you rebel, you.
Apparently, I have a good ear, but that's about it. So for me, I know how to cheer them on and get the energy up. But other than that, I don't really know how to pick up instrument. I would miserably fail. So, I can take a case to a jury trial, but I can't, even make a chord. So that's the story of that. So that's a really important cause. Please check out their foundation, everything they're doing, 13,000 miles all the way to Glacier Bay, Alaska.
Yeah.
So, man, what a badass thing coming through your state. And, just give to that feedback. I thought
that's not where they're going to end up.
Yeah.
That's not where they're going to end up. They're going to, oh, you want to
You beat me. No,
oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go.
No, you go.
You know what?
Turn your phone
I am. My phone's off. They're going to be in Glacier View, Alaska. Then they're going to end up at the 85th anniversary of Sturgis motorcycle rally at the Buffalo Chip, man. That is so cool.
I love me some Sturgis.
So long haul, and I'm sure there's going to be some bumps along the way, literally, but it's really great to see, because I was thinking to myself, we're kicking off the summer. What can we say about that's still great about America, right? And the bottom line is, there are so many people from other continents that I've met that have said, what's unique about America is the Western United States and the Northern, plains and all those wide open spaces. So, man, get out there, even if it's for just a day or two, and just hit the road and get away from the damn phones and have some fun and enjoy what our country was built for.
Yeah. I would love to ride in Alaska. It's got to be crazy.
Have you been to Alaska?
No,
I've been. I love it. My dad lived up there for a
while. But the sights must be beautiful. It's got to be gorgeous.
The air is different.
Yeah.
The air is completely different. Yes. Super clean.
Super clean. But just to ride your motorcycle in Alaska, to see all those beautiful glaciers and mountains. Oh man.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Have you ever been?
No.
Are you going to go?
I don't know. We'll see. Not this year.
My dad had
supposed
a
to actually go in
boat.
September. My wife has a good friend in Anchorage that lives up there, so maybe we'll get to go. Apparently, September is the time to go because all the old people on the cruises are gone, and it's a little bit a little easier to get around. And the bears are still around. You can see some stuff, and it's not cold yet.
So not that cold, right?
Yeah. So another thing, just real quick. Should always mention our motorcycle contest. We're so excited to be able to coordinate that at the end of the year. We're going to be doing that in December.
And that's a
$20,000 towards a bike of your choice. Doesn't matter if it's a used Street Glide, not a new one, or that for some type of Ducati. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's got two wheels. We'll be there to give it to you and connect you to that local dealer here in Texas.
They take that $20,000 if they're winning, to put it down on a new bike?
Whatever towards the bike of their choice, either to pay for the bike itself, if that's what it is, or to
whatever
put it down.
The dollar amount is.
Whatever it is.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
We pay for it. We celebrate it. We give them a free custom painted helmet from Robert and Sun God Graphics and all that awesome stuff. And then we got some a little tiny wolf painting in the back of the bike somewhere underneath, right? No, I'm kidding.
You got to tag it.
You got to tag it, right?
You got to tag it.
Just don't create a club.
Yo, Sun God Graphics, and they're over in Austin.
Yep.
And Robert does amazing work. If you're looking to get your helmet painted, your bike painted, his artwork has been featured in many magazines. Reach out to him. Go to sungodgraphics.com. And check out some of his work. He does. Not only motorcycle helmets, he does amazing work with hockey helmets.
Yeah, he
does. Hockey
does.
Masks are extraordinary.
He's got an agreement with several NHL teams. This guy is the
deal.
equivalent of, I'd like to bring it back to Headbangers Ball, but to be like in the world of music, having Metallica, they're playing for you at your backyard. That's the equivalent of this guy's level of skill, and badassness in the world of airbrush.
Yeah.
He's a superstar.
He's multi-talented. Not only with a paintbrush, but with biker safety as well. He runs some of the accident investigation classes that Glenn Lawson Law puts on, and the Biker Wolfpack puts on. So he is a very well-rounded individual. Check him out. He is part of the Bike Wolfpack. He's part of the 99% Radio Network,
Yep.
and we are proud to know him.
And I'm grateful that you just mentioned that, because as it does get a little hotter, we're going to be doing, if you want to have a group to put together, just reach out to us. We'll sponsor and significantly contribute financially to the cost of the accident scene management course. There's so many motorcyclists, and frankly, for even people who don't ride motorcycles, it's important to know this information. It's about an 8 to 10 hour course, and it's usually taught at one of the dealerships, in one of the back rooms or something, or maybe over at Strokers or wherever we're at. So bottom line is, we just get together. It's usually done by a variety of different nurse and doctor organizations that also ride, and they teach a really badass course. And you learn a lot how to save life, how to control the accident scene, and what do you got to do to control the situation. And of course, you learn a lot from the legal side from us on what we do and how, if we're involved, it's really usually pretty serious situation. And of course, we do represent injured motorcyclists and of those injured through no fault of their own throughout the state. And we want to make sure that a cause is safety first, of course.
I'm glad you brought that up too, with the motorcycle safety classes and the accident prevention classes. How many of us who ride are not prepared if we see a rider go down? Lori Montoya, we have 2 motorcycle trauma kits that we're going to be giving away. How many people have a trauma kit on their bike just in case a bike that you're riding with goes down?
And how many people know how to take the helmet off safely without doing no further damage, or how to put a shock kit on somebody when they're bleeding out?
I think everybody should know, because a lot of times they put one person in charge of knowing that, but you can't put that.
How about if he goes down?
Exactly.
How if that person goes
Everybody
down?
should know.
And people panic. They'll see somebody go down, they'll start to panic. Oh, we got to drag them out of traffic. Maybe that's the worst thing to do. Maybe it's to try to slow traffic down. Maybe not taking off the helmet. These are the things you need to know so you don't cause further damage to the rider.
Absolutely. So just take the course wherever it is. There's plenty of different groups that teach it. So just make sure to sign up for one wherever you are and look out for ours. We'd love to see you at those. And we have something
There's
else
more.
to talk about.
This guy that you sent me this, and all I'm thinking right now is like
It's
this
pizza.
Because now that we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to see Black Hawk helicopters outside. There's going to be people with these CIA guys out there.
Ooh, let's do it. I like it.
Because
are they coming?
This is revolutionary if this really works.
It is.
And it works actually.
It is.
I'm lost. What do we do?
So and we might have they're filming Landman probably about 15 miles from here,
close
right?
to my house, yeah.
So hopefully Shell Oil and Chevron don't show up and start busting on our door.
Jeffrey Gray's on scene today.
Or maybe they're already onto it and they're just building the fields. So here's what we want to talk about. There's a lot of these live wires and all these crazy electric motorcycles, and I have a pretty strong opinion against those things for lots of different reasons, mostly due to feel and authenticity and all of that type of stuff. And so I got to show kudos to my dad. My dad's actually one who told me about this. Yeah. So just so y'all know, there's, lots of different fuel science out there. And my kids are always involved. They're all 3 of them are science people and really involved.
You say geeks.
So yeah,
geeks.
it is what it is. So
I'm a geek.
what we're talking about today is that on May, I think it was May 4th of this year, or May 8th,
May the 4th be with
in
you.
Switzerland, there's a guy who, for the first time, through years and years and years of research and product testing, has used effectively around the Zurich, Switzerland, around the lake there, on his Harley Davidson, solar fuel.
Which when you sent me that article and I saw solar, I was like, oh, it's a solar powered bike.
Electric, right?
No,
it's not.
Solar fuel, which is really intriguing.
Yeah, so basically what it is, and I'm not going to get into it. Y'all can look at it,
You can
on
Google
your
it.
own. But what it is, the premise of it is they use these fields. It takes agricultural waste, combustion with the light of the sun through mirrored things, creating a synthetic fuel, which is, I learned, is not really, I think synthetic, I think like chemicals. No, it's synthetic because of the process, is not the breakdown as a fossil fuel.
Right.
It's still using natural things, very similar to some of the biodiesel components that they use in Europe and other places. But here's the good thing. So far, the testing shows, and this is like way down the road, y'all, but it does show that because this guy, the main project engineer of it, put it literally into his gasoline powered Harley, and it boom started right up. He made
with very little retrofits. I think he had to change like
very little
filter
retrofits.
Very little retrofits.
So solar fuel, I thought it when I first saw my solar powered electric bullshit, whatever, you know. But I did some research on it. Thought it was kind of cool. It's been going on and testing around in the Alps. They're doing Harley runs and stuff like that. They test it out over there, and might be something to look at down the road and give some hope that it won't just all be electric.
But you know what's funny? But you know, pay attention to this story because probably about 20 years ago, a gentleman, I don't remember his name, found out how to run regular automobiles on water and that type of vegetation fuel. And once he had it all patented and everything else, for some reason, he disappeared.
Yeah.
How about that?
You know, he's probably sitting next to Jimmy Hoffa somewhere, but he just kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
You know,
sitting next to Tupac.
He found a way to run the engine on fossil fuel or just, you know, regular vegetation and water. And the government was probably said,
See, if you're gonna give me a motorcycle that's on electric, you got loud pipes save.
No, this doesn't change.
Well, I know, but is it gonna go?
So
like,
yeah, it's gonna go.
Sound?
No,
I mean, is it gonna make the sound?
Yeah, it's gonna go.
Start it up.
You're lying. It's not.
Okay, we'll fake it. We'll fake it.
We could put a little speaker next to the back tire.
So it's interesting because that I hear you on that, but this one is actually funded by several very, very large corporations in Europe and has the funding behind it and that kind of thing. And basically, the article is called, it's from the National Geographic, and it's a recent article, and it talks about the first Harley Davidson in the world to be powered by solar fuel, and it was happened with sustainable energy. And it's not electric. That's the point of it.
You know, so it's running just on the same components, the same carbon, but it's giving off less of a carbon emission.
As long as it sounds like it makes
as long as it sounds the same, and it. But
so it's all about the noise to you, right?
Yes.
And the rumble.
Yes.
I think
because otherwise I'm gonna get a fucking moped.
I hear you. That's what I thought when I saw it. What
like,
about
seriously?
the smell? I don't know if it's gonna smell like. I love the smell of gasoline.
Gasoline.
But
how masculine is you get off your bike, you plug it in. That's
you don't plug in.
No, this is gasoline.
It's
basically like biodiesel.
You're not plugging it in though.
What are you, little tea kettle putting it in the thing?
No, it's just another. Okay,
to?
When you go up to the gasoline pump now, sometimes you have a diesel and you put diesel in it. It's the same kind of.
So they're gonna have a little pink little handle there for you.
That's okay. You'll see. I don't know. It's just fucking interesting, y'all. I mean, it might suck. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm going to go buy it, right? It is what it is.
You didn't do well in school, did you?
No, I never claimed to.
Open your mind. Open your mind.
My wife always says to me, you better have something interesting to speak about, not just about your firm. So I thought I'd bring it in. And I get criticized. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
What the hell?
No, that was fantastic.
All
man.
right. Well, thanks for listening.
But the show works because we don't always agree.
Yeah. If you need us, 737 The Wolf. Hopefully you don't never need us, but if you do, we're here for you at a time of injury or worse. So thank you for listening.
Absolutely.
You know, and don't wait till you get into an accident to call the Biker Wolf Pack. If you have a question, if you have a concern, and maybe they can help you and guide you through something, and maybe you do have a case and you don't know it. Maybe you think you know you're in the wrong, but maybe you're in the right. You know, it costs you nothing to call the Glenn Lawson Law and the Biker Wolf Pack and say, hey, what do you think? And they're going to give you the time, and the courtesy to answer your question. Remember, they're not those big board, big marketing things you see on the side of the road, man. They are an office that is not going to pass you off to a different firm. They're going to keep it in-house and give you individual treatment. So I want to thank Glenn Lawson for that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank
All
you
right,
very
we'll
much.
see you on that ride along the way.
Yes, sir.
We can meet up. Thanks.
All right. Glenn Lawson with Glenn Lawson Law and the Biker Wolf Pack. We're gonna return right after this. Is Lori Montoya on? With Lori Montoya with Biker Down.
What we believe in at Glenn Larson Law is doing one thing and doing it really well. When I meet people, I always tell them we're going to uncover every single rock possible. That's the medical component. That's your story and your voice.
We've solely focused on personal injury, whether that be a slip and fall accident or a commercial 18-wheeler, a motorcycle or DWI, motor vehicle accident. We specialize in that and that only.
When someone says, my neck really hurts, I know exactly how that feels. There's so much more to an injury case dealing with the pain level that people go through and how it affects their lives. And I know how to advocate to make sure that the insurance companies take all of that in consideration in every case.
We're very transparent and open to always keep them informed and stay on top of their case at all times.
Because we're a little bit smaller in team numbers, we're able to really dive into every single case and develop not only a client relationship, but a friendship and a lifelong connection.
We're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We'll meet you anywhere, at the scene, in the hospital, at your home. Whatever's best for the client, we will do every single time.
There is a connection component that I believe our firm is committed to. We want to be connected with you and your family beyond this case so that you know that you have a lifelong partner. Not just a case, but a lifelong connection and a lifelong voice. And we look forward to serving you.
I was at Leather Up will keep you safe while looking great with a huge selection of armored and casual flannel shirts. From beaded to sleeveless, Leather Up's got badass gear for all riders and all seasons. Leather Up with 3.5 million customers since 1999. Iconic biker brands like Milwaukee Leather and Hot Leathers to give you the largest selections anywhere. Comfort, variety, classic styling, and affordability with free same-day shipping on orders over $100. Visit leatherup.com and use the promo code MAYHEM for 20% off.
Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network. We got Lori Montoya. Where's Lori?
Where in the world is Lori?
Lori is finally home.
Oh my God, woman! How are you feeling? Do you have a beautiful?
You know what happens after a 7-day cruise? On day 6, when they tell you got to start packing, you're like, "Aw." You know, it was, after coming off of distracted driving month in April and motorcycle awareness in May. I'll be honest with you, I was toast. And my second grandson, graduated from high school and didn't want a big graduation party. He really wanted, to go on a family cruise. Yeah, and he brought like 4 of his.
So your grandson wants a cruise, and you go on a cruise. Me and Pipple want a cruise. How about taking us on a cruise?
I'm going to get to that, but I thought it was really unique. I thought it saved the family a lot of money and a lot of time and a lot of energy for something that lasts a few hours. And I want to tell you, watching 18 and 19-year-olds navigate the Caribbean where they can drink was worth the price of admission. What was great is that there were a lot of other families on this cruise that were also celebrating graduation. So it was just an incredible bonding time. I'm not one of those grandparents, and it's sadly by choice, that can be that every other weekend or every weekend with their grandkids. So, they sacrifice a lot so that Chomper and I can stay in Colorado and help injured motorcycle riders. So it was just, unpack and do nothing but have fun. But we actually did 3 help requests while we were on there. Nice. I did a couple fundraisers, always got to have the free Wi-Fi.
Well, let me ask you something. Was this a working cruise?
What's a working cruise?
Well, because
I think according to IRS regulations.
Are we going on a working cruise?
No, because the High Seas Rally, Lori Montoya is big into the High Seas Rally. So, we went on that, me and you were on that biker cruise last year. It was a lot different than being
I
on
wasn't
a regular
important
cruise,
then. I
being-
didn't get
being
to
on
I
a
go.
worked
regular-
my ass off for 7 days. I had a vending booth and
I know.
navigating all of that, and y'all were, watery eyed and bloodshot and going, Larry, I'm on toilet. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm tired. I'm dead. And so no, it was a lot more fun. It was really fun, but it just was great to just sit in the sun. I actually got a tan. I have a tan line now, and with the weather we're having here in Colorado, it could snow tomorrow, so we haven't been able to get out on our bike as much as we'd hoped. And I think global, I do appreciate it here in Colorado. Nature always finds a way to replenish itself, and people really understand that. Coming from a little bit of a farming background, is you may hate those fires, but that's nature finding a way to clean the forest. And
Exactly.
it doesn't work within Ann's schedule, but you've chosen to move out into the middle of the woods, and that's how nature replenishes itself. So it's kind of a same with hurricanes. I mean, it's just the way it is, and we choose to live in those areas. It happens. So anyway, even Las Vegas right now is just getting hammered with rain, and I keep going, what are you doing with the runoff of water? Funnel it to Hoover Dam and Lake Mead and stuff like that. So it was really great. But I'm always super glad to be home. My husband decided that my pet penalty for leaving him for a week was he bought another golden doodle. So we added.
I saw that.
Wait,
I saw that.
you wanted to cruise without your husband for a week?
Yes.
No, yeah.
That's right, bitch. Work it. I like it.
Well, someone's got to go home and keep me in the lifestyle that I've become accustomed to. And he didn't.
Oh.
But hey, well, now you're gearing up, and you know what? And I'm going to promote them. I'm gonna promote them because you're being part of it. We're not part of it this year, but
I'm still working on that.
The High Seas Rally is coming up in October, and I heard they were sold out.
Yes.
Yeah.
There might be some.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's not going to be the same. Not that going to be the same without you guys and Motorcycle Mayhem and things, and the people that I've learned to love. And I don't always agree with the decisions that they've made and how they're changing things up and things like that. This year we're sharing a ship. But at the same time, and John, you followed me on that topic, is that if you keep wanting to reference what they did 10 years ago and what they did 15 years ago, they shared a ship. So be careful what you ask for in life. You just might get it. So,
and I'm going to play devil's advocate on this. Sharing a ship is not always a bad thing. I just don't like the restrictions. Some can go here, some can go there, because you're opening up. You're actually breaking the stigma for those people that are going to go on that cruise ship to see all these bikers on the ship and see how they conduct themselves. Because let me tell you something, the High Seas Rally is probably one of the most efficiently run biker cruises that I've ever seen. And
You're going to
it's
see
all these
more
different
chaos on one of those
it's
big
all
sea cruises on
it's
a
all
regular
these different
basis out of
clubs.
Galveston.
I mean, we had 4,000 bikers on a cruise ship and nobody went overboard.
Yeah. I mean, here's the problem, though. Here's the problem. And the reason that you have the area restrictions is, first of all, people are overly paranoid that there's going to be 47 million children on this cruise. And given the date of the cruise, it's real close to Thanksgiving. It's the month of November. So people aren't necessarily going to be, taking off a week. They're going to be saving that time for the holidays. So ixnay that. The other problem is that, as you know, this cruise is very expensive, more expensive than anyone else would normally pay for a 7-day all-inclusive cruise.
I want no kids on board.
Yeah, but on that, you're paying for 10 dialysis patients to come on board with their doctors and their family. It's a fundraising cruise.
You're paying for the veterans,
for the veterans. It's for the Wounded Warrior Project. I mean, last year we raised over $300,000 on board.
That's crazy.
Just for those two foundations. So yes, you pay a little bit more, but you know what? You're making that donation to those causes and to those people. So it does have a lot of meaning to it.
It comes onto my credit card every month. I've been doing it that way for 4 years, and I don't even miss it. I wouldn't even know what to do with
Hiring a
that.
personal assistant.
Actually, if they take vendors, I always have a place for 2 people to help me in the vending area. But the problem is with navigating that is the fact that the regular non-bikers that are on the other side of the ship, they're paying a much lower reduced rate. So what happened is that a lot of the bikers thought they were rock star geniuses and they went and booked on the other side.
Yep.
And so now they want to take advantage of the amenities that we're going to get and things like that and pay this amount when we all paid this amount. So I get why they're doing it. I personally don't know how they're going to do that after just coming off a cruise. If I want to get from the forward to the aft, which is the back, all I got to do is go down some hallways. So they're going to, the truth of the matter is I'm just going to go with the flow. And, if the truth of the matter is if they would bring people like you back and everything else, and, we've got to build this back up. And what the bikers really have a hard time with is really understanding the challenges of running this type of cruise. And why are we splitting it up? Well, think of all the employees that are working behind the scenes that they have to pay, that they have to provide cabins for. All the bike builders get cabins. The influencers get cabins. There's a lot of out-of-pocket expense with that. And, they haven't made, the new owners have not made money yet.
Right. But, like I just saw that now Xavier and Black Smoke Sinners are coming on board. Are they bringing any more of the bike builders on?
To as far as my knowledge, we only have 2, but, we're also probably not giving away 4 bikes this year. They're probably dialing that back where they gave away 4 bikes last year.
See, last year, last year, every level you went on this cruise ship, there was a custom bike. They brought bikes, and it was custom bikes all over the place. And it was really, it was cool to just be around that like-minded aspect of it,
Yeah, and to get opportunities, what I love about the High Seas Rally is when I say you meet a lot of famous people, you meet a lot of high-profile people. And so when you're meeting them, it isn't like at a rally or at an event where you're in their booth, you get like a millisecond of their attention. They're being polite, and then you're not memorable. They're not memorable. You just don't get the warm and fuzzy. What I love about the cruise is I get even the bands, you get a chance to see them at the casino or see them at a bar or see them at the buffet, and you get more time with them. And so you get to know people like Lita Ford, the one year she was on there.
Get out of town, Lita Ford.
Yeah.
She
came on the cruise.
How can you go garage drinking back in the day? How many songs of Lita Ford did me and Tracy sing that drive you nuts? Yes, I love Lita Ford. Yes. Sorry.
But she came to my booth and really liked my skull denim jacket. And so, of course, my staff told me about it. And I'm like, well, let's give Lita Ford a jacket. So I went to the concert and I walked down front, showed her the jacket. She put me up on stage. I got a chance to talk about Biker Down to probably 1,000 people that were in there. And it's just now she's coming back to Sturgis this year. So I plan on wearing my skull jacket and then getting up front and going, Lita, and she'll remember me.
She's gonna be like, get up here.
Yeah. So anyway, I am looking forward to it. I want this. I have a group called High Seas Rally Cruisers. It's the largest independent group that's not officially part of the cruise line or ECP.
That I'm a part of right now on Facebook that keeps singing.
Yeah. And it's wonderful and it's great, but there's a lot of armchair quarterbacks, for lack of a better word. And I just kind of put an ixnay to that today. We need to be positive. We need to give them positive reinforcement, or be careful what you ask for. You may not have a High Seas Rally to go on in 2026. So I always tell people, if you want to help the biker community, you want to help dialysis, you want to help veterans, you want to meet the most amazing people that are your people. But at the same time, talking about regular people, if we want to find a way for us as bikers to resonate with people driving cars, what a better way than to share a boat and get 7 days with these independent people, these drivers and things like that, who, they're going to go, are you a biker? Yeah, I'm a biker. See my tattoo? Let me explain to you why I have tattoos. Let me explain to you that I'm not a bad person. That I'm not what you see on TV, that oh my God, Laurie with Biker Down, she was so much fun, but when I'm dressed in my stuff, sometimes, and I'm flipping people off because they're on their phones and everything else, I may not come off as that nice biker. So I think it's a great opportunity. It's not
biker safety, like.
Did you see that glow? It's like Satan just shined on me,
Well, if Chris and Greg are watching this, man, get the 99% Radio Network, get Motorcycle Mayhem back on the ship. Let us advertise for you. Let us be there. We promoted you guys a lot. And
you did. You guys put your whole heart and soul in it. And to be honest with you, we're not going to have 4,000 people on a ship this year. And maybe why is that? Yes, it's half a ship, but I think every year they have to narrow down the people, that got a free cruise but didn't really promote it, and to focus on the people that really have worked their whole heart and soul. And the 99% Radio Network, absolutely, every single week on your Facebook, you were always there promoting them. Maybe even if worst case scenario, they said, hey, we can't give it to you 100%, but we could give it to you at 50% off. It might be something. If they would have offered me that, I would have probably taken it. Yeah. And we're still working on it. We're still having conversations. It's hard to explain that these people also own the Star Trek cruise, Jazz cruise, so a lot of times when I'm not getting an answer back from Greg, they are, yes. I can't do it. Can I do it? Can you do it?
What?
There we go. Women are very flexible. But anyway, so now they're going to get into high seas rally mode, and you're going to see, and I wrote them. I mean, I took a lot of the questions that people were having and stuff, and I wrote them. And I think Greg and I are going to do a little podcast probably next week, and for the cruisers to answer these questions that they're having. So with that being said, okay. So I'm going to talk to you guys about something that is not going to be as much fun.
Oh, no.
And I'm sorry, but my job doing Biker Down and my mission is always how to keep bikers alive. I got an email yesterday from the Highway Patrol, and they wanted me to put out this message to bikers, specifically motorcycle clubs, stating that 60% of the bikers that are fatalities in Colorado were due to alcohol-related deaths. So there was some level of alcohol in it. And I took offense to it, quite honestly, because I have someone in a motorcycle club. I hang around people in a motorcycle club, whether it's a biker ministry or anything like that. And it didn't sit well with me, because I've been to plenty of biker bars and I've seen plenty of independent riders drinking more than they should and then throwing a leg over on a bike. So I thought about it today and what I was going to talk about. And I really wanted to talk about motorcycles and alcohol in a generic form. This isn't targeting anybody, but in 2028, 28% of all motorcycle riders that were killed in crashes had a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or higher. And that is the legal limit, but for impairment, for the numbing of your senses and your reaction time, in 2023, we had, it rose to 36%. And we had nationwide over a little under 1,700 people on the bike that had some sort of alcohol in their system at the time that they passed. It's not fun. I understand that people like to relax. They like to have a couple cocktails and things like that. But just like a car, when you have that kind of instrument underneath you and you're navigating it through traffic and things like that, or you've got a passenger on the back, it really is something that, you can always drink when you get home. And as I've always said to people, it is cooler to get home alive and get home safe than it is to have too much alcohol in your system. Not that I am opposed to a biker that's out riding and wants to have a burger and a beer. I'm not. And I don't judge. Chomper and I have made decisions that when we ride, we don't drink. We wait till we get back to the house, or we wait till we get to our final destination. But the percentage rate of drivers that drive in with alcohol is 25%. And so the fact that we as motorcycle riders, our percentage is above the drivers, because the drivers have 6 airbags. We have none. There's also a bigger problem with bikers driving at night. And 16% of the rider fatalities involve alcohol, but it's at night. And that number jumps to 44% at night. And it's simple. It's darker. Drivers are more tired. And yeah, people have been drinking. They're on their way home from a day of riding and things like that. Combined with lower visibility, increased road hazards and stuff, you've got a really hazardous condition. Riding isn't like driving a car. On a bike, you need balance, coordination, and quick thinking. And sometimes those things can be challenged when you've got a little alcohol. So I just, I hate to say it to everybody. It's not fun, but it is things that do lay into the fact that bikers can lose their lives. So I just ask everybody to ride sober, ride alive, stay alive, and, just be safe out there. So it's kind of not fun. Okay, back to fun stuff. I did a little research.
Just like a woman, not listening to me.
I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, that's what they all say. No.
What? It's called selective hearing.
Continue.
All right.
I'm listening.
In
We're
retro,
listening.
all right, you gave off. Because I'm interested in this. You gave off the percentage of numbers of the alcohol fatalities in the bike with bikers, right?
Yeah.
And then when we look at the cage, and we look at that percentage, but then we look at the percentage of bikes on the road opposed to those in cages, right?
Yeah.
So how does that, looking at that study?
Well, I don't know. I didn't dive into it that much.
44% seems high, but when you think about it, there are a lot less bikes on the road at certain times, and so that number could seem a lot higher when it could actually only be maybe. Well,
I think that the reasoning is that, let's be honest, it is harder. We live in an older demographic, you and I. And so, my husband doesn't see well at night, period, even in the car, and stuff. And so riding at night, your visibility is changed. There's the deer and, cows and lions, tigers are all out feeding at night. So how many times do you have an harder, an easier chance of running into a deer? We were coming down the mountain last night and there was a deer on the side of the road. You just wanted to get a little drink at the creek on the other side. And I'm like, this poor deer is going to die, or he's going to pull out and someone's going to hit him. Now,
pedestrians and homeless.
Yeah, we don't really have, in the Metroplex here, we don't have a problem with deer. But we do have a problem with some
cows,
homeless.
maybe.
No, or coyotes.
Homeless walking out into traffic. I get it.
That's right. Yeah. Early morning runs.
But it just is something that, we're talking about helmets. We're talking about wearing the gear. We're talking about taking accident scene management. We're all trying to do everything we can so that all of you make it home safe. So that you have another day to ride. You have another day on the saddle. And, sometimes just a little tweak of your habits can make all the difference in the world. And, listen, no one loves a cocktail more than I do. And no one loves their bike more than I do. It's a choice that I've made. And again, I'm not judging anyone, I'm just saying, when that notice came out to me, I was like, why are you just profiling the motorcycle clubs? Have you ever sat at a busy biker bar at Arizona Bike Week? There are plenty of independents that are drinking way too much. This is about, and that's what bubbled to the surface of me.
People looking out for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Are you the friend, and this is something too. Are you that biker friend that if your friend has had too much, that you are saying, no, dude, your day is done. And I'm popping you in an Uber, and I will come get you in the morning, and we'll come get your bike. You know, I am my brother's keeper. I have to watch out for people. People make mistakes. You know, people ask me all the time.
You've got to be really, 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 really drunk to leave your bike at a bar. I'm just saying.
You know, not really.
I'm just saying.
Well,
man.
once your brothers get on you, once it's called though.
If more than one brother,
on that bike.
If more than one brother.
You know, the other thing I would tell you is get the Biker Down freaking membership with motorcycle towing for $37.50 a year.
Not a bad idea.
Tell your motorcycle tower, hey, my bike won't start. Get their bike. Get their bike home. $37.50 is cheaper than many Ubers. So I just am saying, you can go on bikerdown.org and go to the $37.50. I'm still waiting for people from the 99% Radio Network to have that membership. However, you know,
I know. I feel like I'm being strong-armed. No,
you are.
No,
you know, what is a life worth? You know, and listen, as much as we love our bikes,
my life ain't worth much. I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It's not.
We love you.
It'd be like $3.
No, you're worth it. You know, you got a lot of history. You're worth a lot. You're like
You're vintage. You're vintage.
Put me in a freaking
I can
box.
put you in a shadow box.
Put me in a shadow box.
I'll donate the motorcycle urn. But I'm just saying, what is your life
work
worth?
Framing? She'll put me in there.
See,
take a work for framing. You'll get a discount on it. You'll get a discount on the shadow box.
There you go. But I'm just saying, you know, for $37.50 a year, you know, get the towing so that you can get your bike home. You can say, dude, your night is done. I'm calling. I've already called MTS. They're on their way to pick you up. Many of the biker bars, a true biker bar, will also help you get your bike home. Or they have a storage area that they will store it. They don't, to be honest with you, the biker bars also don't want you to leave their bar and die.
Right.
You know, there's liability with that too. So I think you'd be surprised that if you went to a manager of a bar and said, listen, my friend has had too much, he would say, hey, I know at Dirty Dogs, I've seen Mark and them say, we'll put it on the stage, and the stage has cameras and it'll be fine. You know, and our cleaning crew is here from 2 a.m. till 5, and we're back in at 6. So I'm just saying, you know, if you love your friends and somebody has made that mistake that day, you know, then you do everything you can to get them home. Get the towing, tow their bike home. You can throw that drunk person in the towing truck and go, vaya con Dios, you're no longer my problem. But I'm just saying, you know, we want every biker to get home safe. Let's see. We have a few prizes left over and from our motorcycle giveaway. So I wanted to show you guys. You guys didn't get the new t-shirts, but the new t-shirts.
No,
I haven't got any t-shirts.
I got the 2024.
Well, wait a minute. I sent him t-shirts. Did you not get one?
He probably gave it to his wife. It's fine.
No, I gave you one.
Did you give me one?
Yes, I gave you one. The box was here last week. I gave you one. Where'd it go?
I will look when I get home.
Okay.
You know, when we talk about, listen,
I have a memory of a goldfish.
We do not drink and drive on the bike, and we should not drink and be at the mic.
Ever.
Ever.
Bad idea.
But the great thing about the t-shirt is you can get it on bikerdown.org, and it says on the back, one text or call could wreck it all. And these are really very American flaggy. I did it in a really cool soft t-shirt. So what I'm saying is I'm going to keep the bike giveaway up or the helmet giveaway up. We're out of helmets, but we still have 2 trauma packs. We still have 1 break free that I need to send you.
And I got 2 trauma packs.
Yeah,
I know. We got 2 trauma packs, 1 break free. I'm going to send about 10 t-shirts for you guys in different sizes. And evidently I've got to send an extra one to make sure that you guys all get one. But I want to keep that drawing going. I'll switch it up, but I want to keep people going because we didn't get as many people as we'd hoped. But, you know, we have some stuff still to give away. I'll still throw in some swag. And, you know, we just really want to get the message out to people to ride safe. So,
well, you know, Lori, what I'm going to do, I know you sent me 2 trauma packs. But we got a group that's coming in right after you get off right now. They are the Honor Guard BC. So what I'm going to do, and because they're veterans and they ride together, would you mind if I donated those 2 trauma packs to their club?
I would not mind. I would not mind at all. And then therefore I will send you another trauma pack for our drawing to go with that. You're costing me a fortune, John.
But you know what? You may
and you're going to spend $37.50, and I'm going to get an email sooner than later.
Well, I promise you.
Is that a biker? Is that biker honor?
Huh?
Is that on your biker honor?
That's on my biker honor.
Okay.
If Tigger gives me the authority, to spend $37.50, I will.
Okay. Tigger's online right now. Tigger, I want your okay. I need documentation.
All right.
I will hold you to it. Oh, and then the other thing is, I understand you're going to have Todd on about his music.
Yes. Yep. Todd's coming on with the music.
Okay, awesome. And then last but not least, anyone who's going to Sturgis, we are under 60 days from Sturgis. I'm going to be there, as always, from the 31st till 2 days after Sturgis. I just want everyone to know that if you go down, if you break down or anything like that, first of all, if you're going to go to Sturgis and you need a motorcycle tow, you better have this membership. Because calling any other type of tow truck in Sturgis, you're going to get something that's going to frighten fish, and you're not going to want them to tow your bike. It's the best $37.50 you guys will ever spend, because MTS brings probably 12 to 14 of their motorcycle towers up to Raleigh. And if something happens and you need to get it to Rapid City, or you need it to get it to Custer, anything like that, it's super important. So you can go to bikerdown.org, click on membership, and get that. We'll get that up. Now, last but not least, I found an all-adult cruise that Carnival Magic is coming up with. So I think that we should, all of us from the 99, including Mongo and Glenn and everybody else, I think we need to start our own little biker cruise.
On Carnival?
On Carnival.
That's
Carnival Magic is awesome.
It already happens.
All right.
I mean,
there ain't no
I've cruised Carnival.
That's like the Spirit Airlines of the water.
I'm going to call bullshit on that. I just did Carnival Celebration. It was the nicest ship I've ever been on, and I've been cruising for well over 15, 16 years. The newer ship, Carnival Magic, is a big ship. It's a newer ship, and it's Rockstar. And if you I'll look into it. We'll get a special rate for the 99. And I'm just saying, we will, not that we don't want you to go on High Seas Rally, but we will start a little cruise of our own where we do some live feeds and things like that. It'll be affordable for people. And we'll just have a hell of a good time. So, me
and you will be in the casino.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I killed it.
Did you really?
I don't normally talk about it, but I killed it.
Awesome. You heard some
all you say is it wasn't the grand, but it was really green.
Ah, nice.
So I brought all that home, and I started a hat bar business. So I know I'm running late, so I'm going to let you guys go. As always, a woman running late. But anyway, I love you guys.
I love you too, Lori.
And I will post those links to have everybody sign up for that roadside assistance. It's one of the best things you can do. So God bless you guys.
All right.
Thank you, Lori.
Take care, Lori. Lori Montoya with Biker Down.
My name is Art Lee. I invented LifeVac to protect my family. Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Daddy.
That was us over 10 years ago.
Now, LifeVac is responsible for saving over 2,000 lives from choking.
We started this company in our garage, just hoping to make a difference, because over 5,000 lives are needlessly lost each year to choking incidents.
Help LifeVac on our mission to save lives.
In the time it takes you to pick up the phone and call, another life could be saved.
LifeVac's patented design creates a one-way suction to remove food or objects obstructing airways. All you have to do is place, push, and pull. And just like that, LifeVac can save a life from choking.
Quite frankly, I thought I was going to die. The LifeVac saved my life in 1-2 seconds.
Get your very own LifeVac now and get 20% off. Visit lifevac.net or call 877-LifeVac.
As my personal promise to you, if you order a LifeVac and have to use it, LifeVac will replace it free.
LifeVac works on adults, teens, or toddlers and can be ready in seconds and last a lifetime, guaranteed.
Best of all, you can even use a LifeVac on yourself, the elderly, physically impaired, or those that other methods may not be possible or are dangerous. In the event of a choking emergency, you could save a life, even your own.
Thank you, Daddy.
Life is precious and time matters.
Choking can happen anywhere. Help us put a LifeVac in every home, school, restaurant, car, office, everywhere.
Protecting families has always been our mission. I'm sure you love your family like I love my daughter. Do us all a favor and get your own LifeVac now.
LifeVac saves lives. Order one for your home, the office. It also makes a great gift. Use promo code Jackie and save 20%. Don't wait another minute. A life might depend on it. Go to lifevac.net or call 877-LifeVac. That's lifevac.net or 877-LifeVac. Order now.
Smell that barbecue from here. Lone Star Cuisine, the ultimate food truck for all your upcoming events. Randall Thompson takes pride in all his food. Give him a call. Book today. 817-500-1033. Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl. That was Lori Montoya with Biker Down and and Glenn Lawson. We still got a lot of show left. We are a 3-hour show now because we got a lot of content to bring to you.
We got a lot of pizza.
We got a lot of
We
pizza.
got a lot of meatballs.
You had balls in your mouth?
I ate some meatballs. Family recipe.
Want to welcome the guys from Honor Guard. I keep saying Honor Guard. Honor Guard VC. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
A couple of weeks ago, we were at Buffalo Joe's, and we lost all audio, and we couldn't properly interview you guys. So I'm glad you guys were able to make your way into the studio. Thank you. Before we start, on behalf of Biker Down, we'd like to donate 2 of these trauma kits to your club.
There's some good stuff in there.
I hope it's the best gift we give you that you'll never have to use.
Yeah. Right.
This is pretty cool.
So we know how much you guys ride and what you guys do. We want to make sure that you ride safe, and that's on behalf of Lori Montoya with Biker Down.
Thank you.
That's because that's a good company to look at if you got guys that need help with don't have insurance and things like that. Look up Biker Down. There's so many benefits with being part of Biker Down.
Oh yeah. Now I have to spend $37.50 and get the towing.
Sorry.
But I promised her almost a year ago, and I still haven't done it. But I'm going to do it today. I promise I'm going to do it today when I get home, because Tigger will make me now.
Yes. Well, you had to wait till you got your new bike. You had to get the proper bike to get it in, the proper coverage.
I went from, and when we talk about drinking, I was always 2 wheels, 2 beers. So now I got 3 wheels,
7 beers.
So now I can have even more. So I don't wobble as much anymore.
You just lean.
You don't have to put your feet down.
I don't even have to put my feet down. I succumbed to a tri-glide. Texas Harley Davidson gave me a good deal on it. So now I can just drink more.
Yes, you can.
I feel a lot more comfortable on a
We got a trike rider.
Huh?
We got a trike rider in the club.
Oh, do you? All right.
I want a trike.
There's some of us.
I'm not gonna lie, I want a trike.
It is a different ride.
I want not
It
the
is definitely
big boy
a different ride.
trike. I want like the vintage style trike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The ones you can tip really easy.
Just one that doesn't look like an old man trike. I don't know.
They all do.
No,
Yeah.
there's the old school, ones.
Sidecar one.
No, I love a
Oh.
sidecar. I love
Those
a
are
sidecar
hard to
too.
drive.
They are, but
Sidecars.
Speaking about sidecars, when I was at Texas Harley, when I was talking to some of those guys from Hog,
Mm-hmm.
one of the guys just invented a sidecar for your golf bag. So for those who want to go out golfing, and say it's a nice, beautiful Saturday morning, you don't feel like taking a car, but you can't, and you want to take your bike, and you can't put the bag on your bike. Well, you take one of your side bags off, and it slips right onto your frame of your bike, and you.
and I
really,
love
really
that
cool.
this is like something that the guy puts on the bike. But yeah, it's still not a 2-seater bike. But he's like, babe,
So
wait,
cool.
it's only a 1-seater, but the bags need to go with me. You still can't go.
You still can't go. All right, so I want to welcome you guys to the show. Tell us a little bit about what the Honor Guard does and how it formed, actually.
I'm Troy Edwards. I am known as Orion. I'm the president of the Honor Guard Veteran Club.
The camera. Look at the
Camera. Sorry. So a group of us knew each other from previous experiences. I've known Pork Chop here for 13 years now. When you get out of the military, it's kind of hard. It's kind of how motorcycle clubs actually started. A whole bunch of vets got out. During Vietnam, it was a whole different story.
Mm-hmm.
You were kind of not popular.
Right.
So they were looking for like-minded people, and so they started forming all the motorcycle clubs. There was a few before that, but that's kind of the same kind of deal. We love to ride. We'd go to strokers. We'd go, so you'd meet people, kind of around the Metroplex and areas, and but we didn't really want, and nothing wrong with motorcycle clubs, but we didn't really want a motorcycle club. We wanted kind of something our own. So we formed this, made it a 501c. It is a 501c. So mainly we ride. It's a brotherhood, sisterhood. We raise money for vets each year. Each year we vote to donate to a group.
A charity. You pick a charity.
Last year it was
VROC, the Veterans
Outreach Center in Rowlett. This year we're looking at, the name.
It's the Northwest Texas Golf Warriors Association.
Okay.
So they basically for rehabilitated soldiers, which includes physical and mental.
Nice.
Same concept, but instead of being on bikes, they get them out to play golf with the like-minded veterans and just have a day of it or maybe longer to kind of get them into a more comfortable zone and then help them rehabilitate in whatever way they can.
I'm glad you brought that up because, like when we have hunting with soldiers on, it's all about our vets where they'll go on hunting and fishing excursions. But say you don't like to hunt, say, maybe you don't want to do that type of modality.
You're not one with nature. It's fine.
Maybe you just don't want to do that. But, golf is a huge stress reliever. It's hitting a ball into a little hole.
I can do a mean Happy
Gilmore. That's not going to piss you off and make you forget about everything else. Then I don't know what is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's out there with your buddies and it's out in the open air. So that's a great. I've never heard of that, veteran therapy golf. But I think that's a great therapeutic way to get out there on in the open air, man.
But that's kind of how we were formed too. Sorry.
That's okay.
We loved riding motorcycles,
right?
And wind therapy. So wind therapy is kind of the same kind of thing. It's nice. You have a bad day, you have a bad week. You get on two wheels and you just ride, and it just makes the stress just go away.
And that's how golf goes with it too, because my dad's a huge golfer, and so we can relate. I'll get on the back of my husband's bike or whatever, but wind therapy is the same thing as just being out in nature and you walking and doing your 18 holes, 8 whatever, how many holes I drink when I golf.
Actually it's 19 because you got to stop at the bar on the way out.
Actually mine's 17 because I don't tee off at the first one because I'm super embarrassed to tee off right next to the clubhouse, so I just skip that one.
But when we think about those therapeutic modalities, man, not everybody likes to sit on a couch. Not everybody likes to go with painting with a twist. We want to be out in nature, so it's another form of stress relief. You check out all the ones that work for you because everybody's individualized when it comes to either post-traumatic stress or any type of individual stress. Everybody's it impacts everybody differently.
Exactly, and we all served. One of the branches. We don't have any Coast Guard, but we have Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, unfortunately.
Space Force?
No Space Force yet?
Space Force yet?
No Space Force yet. But we have my treasurer really, really wants the Space Force guy. So if any Space Force guys are out there riding in the DFW area, let me know.
And you have some pretty badass females, I hear too.
We do. Are wonderful. So it's not just a brotherhood; it's also a sisterhood. We actually do have full female members. Our only requirement is and thus the name Honor Guard. You have to have an honorable discharge. Doesn't matter how long you serve, just as long as you have an honorable and a motorcycle. And really, that's it. So I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care if you're a male. I don't care if you're female. And I could say, I wish Michelle was here because she'd probably tell you that she's one of the guys, and then of course our wonderful spouses, 2 of them are here.
The glue.
Yes.
The glue.
They have what I guess you would consider most people say auxiliary or whatever, or support, but they're the maidens.
Which are the ones that probably do most of the work behind the scenes.
They do. Yes. They do a lot they're really good at the organizing and the planning and and everything else. You
can always tell a good club because of the women behind it. I'm going to tell you that right.
Without a doubt, and you're not the first person to say this. Every club that we've had in here, either the ladies are either full patch members or they are, wives or girlfriends. They are the ones that are really doing the grunt. They're doing the grunt work. They're the ones that are doing the grunt work.
And I have to say, yes, my wife does a lot of the things that I guess I slack.
Definitely. Always got to boost the females.
You got it, yeah. But I think that's great because that actually makes a stronger club. When you have the spouse is either husband or wife, whatever it is.
Because I do believe that there needs to be a separate. Because it is. I'm not saying it's a man's club. It is, but it isn't. I'm not trying to be wrong on the words. I get you guys want to have your thing, but I think it also a strong club you have to have the females involved to make it a strong club, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Because as soon as you say no females, your wives are gonna be mad. Where are you going?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Who are you hanging out with?
Wow, you just became Italian on that, man. Where you going?
Where you going?
You're from the streets of Brooklyn. Where you going?
But if it's open and the women are involved and it's all of an uplifting thing, it's all gonna work out and it's a strong club. It brings a strong bond together.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
That's
and I'm sure you.
Oh yeah, I was actually she's my ex-wife was not interested in any of the motorcycle part at all, even though she used to ride with and then when I got remarried, that was one of the things that she's like, yes, I want to do, and it just gave us something extra to do. And all the wives participate, and they do pretty good. I think, with the club.
Well, you can go to an event and you can tell, you go to an event and you see the one that the men just put together, and then you see the events where the men and the women put together. It is so much more organized when the women are involved, because men are like, yeah, don't worry about the tablecloth, don't worry about this. This is fine.
Baby.
Yes, and the details are in the success of it. You can tell when a club has women helping them, because it goes off usually without a hitch.
Well, that's why my wife is the actual marketing officer.
Is this your wife right here?
Yes.
I love that. Because she's over here fucking like filming and everything. I love it.
Yeah, Siren is the one that does pretty much all the marketing, all the social media blasts.
Oh yeah.
Pretty much everything. And so it does help.
It's Siren. She's getting it out there.
We couldn't do it without any of them, actually.
Yes.
But it also
put that as a drop.
But it gives couples something to do. So it's and we're busy, but we're not that busy. I mean, we have church each month, and then we just got back from an annual trip. We do annual trips where we all just go up, kind of spend the weekend in a house. We went up to Broken Bow a couple weeks ago, and we ride up there and all ride together, and so it gives us. It's pretty good.
It's bonding time.
Yeah, it's definitely bonding time.
And it definitely makes we're not going to turn this into a relationship thing, but it definitely brings the couples together. It bonds them more. It makes it for definitely a stronger relationship.
It helps.
I know when me and Tigger are on the bike, we become a lot closer. It's our time where we're away from the kids, we're away from the father-in-law, we're away from the house and the bills and everything else, and we're on the road, and it could just connect me and her, and that's what you need. That's what you need.
Oh, apparently she liked it so much she went out and learned how to ride. Originally, it was in case I was a little too drunk to get home. She would take the bike.
See, that's kind of how it starts.
But then
There's
it turned
a lot of times we're at the bar, we have to figure out how to get them home.
Then it turned into her own bike, and now so she rides.
That was a woman's way of saying, honey, I'm going to get a bike, and it's because I want to take care of you. Yeah.
So
I just signed the papers.
It's a little contagious. So we have a couple of the other wives who are actually thinking about it. Have actually talked about it now too.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Badass.
Because it's like I said, man, it's not only just for the guys, it's for the girls, it's for the I love family oriented clubs where you get the kids involved. Because it bonds everybody together, and it shows people, and it brings the kids, even shows them a sense of purpose because of what you guys do in your organization. It teaches kids not to be selfish. It teaches kids to stand up for others. It teaches kids to be a part of something bigger than themselves, just like in the military, because you have a whole strong force behind these children, showing them how to conduct themselves, and they learn from that. You
want to talk about it?
Yeah, and actually that was one of the things that we kind of looked at when we started out was not only did we want to involve, ourselves and the veterans and the main members, but we also wanted the wives as well. And then we actually created something which we call legacies, which the legacy is our children.
Oh, nice.
And so the legacy, in some sense, like you would think fraternity legacy means that, okay, when you get to age, you just automatically get in. For us, that's not the case. And for us, the legacy means you're a child of a member, but you still have to serve and get a DD-214 if you ever want to come back as a full member.
Okay.
So it's not a free ride for them. But like you stated, they get.
So you're recruiting.
Yeah, we're recruiting.
Right,
We're recruiting, and my son became the first legacy member. And so what we hope is that they will come to events with us, like you said, learning how to not be selfish, learning how to give back, and kind of seeing what it's like on the other side of the tracks, which most people don't ever get to really see. If you haven't been in and not being overseas, it's kind of hard to describe that kind of thing.
Right.
So our hope is, kind of recruiting. So maybe he'll do it. And according to him, he's going to join the Army as soon as he graduates college. So,
well, when you have an all veteran, when you have all your military backgrounds right here, you got the Air Force, you got the Marines, you got the Army, Navy. So when a child is exposed to different elements of that, right, he can make his informed choices, right? But you're strong individuals that actually, grow that kid, grow that child. He's not, that's what builds kids, man.
Well, I have to say, because I've done Hacker for a long time, actually, since my son's turning 10 tomorrow. They have the same birthday, Hacker and my son. And my son was 3, I think, when Hacker came in my life. And I came from I'm a single mom, had no family in Texas. And it was the motorcycle community because my husband and him were in the same club at the time. And it was all the brothers became my son's uncle.
Yep.
And the family that came around. And now my kid's like, he wouldn't talk. Remember, he wouldn't talk. You talk to him and you put his face down because there was a abusive thing going off at my ex-husband's home. And so having the brotherhood around, my son's now chatty. He's like wanting to be in front of the camera. I mean, like the brotherhood and the uncles that came along with that motorcycle community truly saved my son from what he was going down. So I have to say, like, that was, I'm like a teary-eyed, but I'm gonna stop talking now. But that was like a big thing.
Stop being such a woman.
Stop being so emotional.
The only problem with that is when your youngest he's going in the military, and he would have been 5th generation Navy until he comes home from college and tells you he's going to join the Air Force.
Yeah.
Well,
it's something. It's better than nothing.
So you got to be proud because he's still going to serve, but you're like,
but didn't we all say we should have joined the Air Force when it comes to the end? Like, we all said that.
Yeah.
Ask me how many times I've heard that from Navy.
Yeah.
My dad pushed the Air Force on me too. He was full bird Army, but I didn't do any of it. I was like, Dad, I do too many drugs. I can't go in the Army.
But still, I mean, serving is serving. You know, it really doesn't matter what branch you're in. You're still doing something bigger than yourself, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're serving your country, and that's what gives you backbone. That's what makes you a better person and helps you grow and will form you into a great adult.
Well,
most of the time.
And it's funny because we can give each other so much crap, but yet then you got a civilian that pops up and starts, chiming in, and you're like, oh, and then it's like everybody's, they're like, whoa, wait a minute, we can do that. You can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that's another thing. You just brought that up too. That builds, and I hate to say it. Well, I'm not going to hate to say it because kids nowadays, so a lot of them are just pussies.
Yes.
Yes.
They are, man. They cry.
They're
they don't.
really
They don't
brave
have
behind their phones.
or they need a safe space, or they need a cup of tea and or whatever.
Drugs.
Do you need a participation award?
Huh?
Oh God! Don't even get me started.
That's another thing. We'll get. You know what? Participation awards. Oh.
Whatever happened with like
winning and losing?
Get on your
Black
bike
eyes
and jumping
and
over
bullying.
creeks and breaking your arm at the age of 6 and
Stitches.
Yeah.
It is, and that's why, like, the motorcycle community. If you look at the children that come from the motorcycle community, how they can not only defend themselves, they have tough exteriors. Nothing hurts their feelings as much. They blow stuff off.
I think they're more kind, actually.
They are, but you know what? They're not the ones that are going to be like, sulking in the corner.
They don't take bullshit, but they will be kind.
They learn how to be. They're resilient. And that's what we need. The kids today have no resiliency. They're getting sick all the time. They and it's because of being, just pussy.
Mm-hmm. Or helicopter parents that try to get them out of everything.
Yeah, and I understand you want to protect your kids, but you got to let kids grow.
I mean,
you got to let them.
How many news stories do we have where like parents are like trying to get their kids out of a murder charge or something? There's like, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, like they were texting and driving and they killed somebody.
Yeah,
or like but they're only 17. I'm like,
he just happened to bring the knife to the football game. Wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
But you brought up that thing with setting up ramps out on the street and jumping over people with your bicycle as they lay down. Yep. How fun was that?
Street lights come on.
You had to make that ramp, or you were going to kill 2 of your friends. So you tried really hard. And sometimes you lost a friend or two, but it's all right. They got up. They had a little tire mark on their stomach.
Nickname became Uno.
But you don't see kids today playing in the street. You don't see kids jumping over things or shoving dirt in each other's mouth. Everybody just is in a safe space.
That's Brooklyn you're talking about.
That's Brooklyn.
That's how we grew up.
Now they're in the streets doing TikToks and dances and stuff.
Yeah,
I think that's why when we put together our like our get-togethers and even our little fun runs, we want it to be more of getting outside and doing stuff. So for our run, it's not just, hey, you get to meet us here and do a raffle. Like, we want you to visit like several memorial sites, take selfies at it, post it. So now you get to see it. You get to see more of the Metroplex that you probably have never seen.
Right.
And just like even come down here, like we haven't been down some of these side streets forever. Like, look at all the new places. So it gets them out. It gives them the ability to see more. It gets them to actually do, involved with what we're doing, which is veteran kind of thing. So when you visit 3 different memorials, one, you may not have realized it was there, but 2, you get involved. And then because of your involvement with that, then you get to come back to the raffles and have some fun with people. So we definitely want it to be more than just raising money for veterans, which is a big part of our cause.
But a history lesson.
But we want it to be experience, ride with purpose, raise money for veterans, and then we never leave a veteran behind.
Glenn Lawson, was it 2 weeks ago? He brought it up that check out those historical sites.
Oh yeah, he went on the couple scenic routes in Colorado or something.
He posted a page for Texas. It's showing all those historical sites, and he was in Pennsylvania, and he said, you know what, I've never seen, he saw the historical site sign, and he was like, let me pull over and see what that is. And it turned out to be a Vietnam memorial, and he walked through it, and it was something that he felt so deep about that when he brought it back to Texas, he looked online, and you can actually do a run from historical marker to historical marker and remember those men and women that fought and died and served and really built this country. Instead of running from bar to bar, instead of running from do a poker run from memorial site to memorial site.
Yeah, and that's what we do. That's what we normally do. And usually, since Buffalo Joe's is our clubhouse, and
with really good meatballs.
That was Benjamin's.
Same owner. It was kind of nice because it's kind of central. So we kind of branched off. I mean, and you'd be amazed. I mean, even like Allen has a POW memorial. Princeton, it was a World War II POW camp, and you just would never know any of that stuff.
And they're not teaching that in school.
Oh God,
they're not teaching.
No, and they're destroying a lot of it and tearing a lot of it down.
Changing the names.
At a minimum, that's kind of the way you're going to have to learn now.
History, if you like it, good or bad, it needs to be there.
Yeah,
for history.
exactly.
I just don't understand that.
And that's what you learn from history. Learn not to repeat the same mistakes. But if we start tearing it down, we're going to start making the same mistakes we did back in the day. I want to bring on what's your first name again?
Brian.
Brian. I want to bring up Brian real quick because we didn't get a chance to discuss. I really want to advertise Buffalo Joe's a little bit.
You want to talk about his balls?
You can talk about his balls. I'm going to talk about his pizza. Do you want to talk about his balls?
No, you go.
Do you have
you
any
go right ahead.
knowledge of his balls?
I had one.
She was eating his.
Well,
all excited about his son's balls.
Let's talk about his balls. How did you like his balls?
I feel like we should be on the sweaty bars. What is that? What is it? Saturday Night Live skit? There were some sweaty bars with some sauce.
Reared from Brooklyn, right?
Yes, sir.
Buffalo Joe's and your family has a long history in the food industry.
Right. We own a bunch of pizzerias out here.
So tell us a little bit about what Buffalo Joe's, how it started, and what it's all about.
Buffalo Joe's started 2005 when I got back home from Iraq, and I looked at something else to do instead of I was going into reserves, and I didn't want to go work for my dad in his pizzeria. I really there's a lot of options for me at that time for me to do other military stuff. But I decided to open up a bar, and it's been great from there. I've opened multiple locations, not Buffalo Joe's, but I've had a couple of Italian restaurants and a Mexican restaurant from that one store. But a lot of the guys are buying a brand new car or going on vacation or stuff like that. I invested in a restaurant, just happened to fall on my lap.
And you're like, oh shit, I should have bought a car.
Yeah, no, I mean that restaurant's giving multiple cars, but
right.
But it was something I always wanted a bar. I never owned a bar. I always worked in the pizzeria growing up as a kid in Brooklyn.
Right.
And my dad's owned a restaurant since I can remember.
So you grew up in the food industry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought you like people from like New York. You like, oh, you're 37 and 6. Like, didn't you guys like compare where you guys lived and stuff?
Oh yeah. I lived in Coney Island area.
You live in Coney Island. Yeah,
you guys were like,
you
I
live
was
in Coney
on
Island,
7.
and like I worked in Brooklyn, but I worked Brooklyn North, and when he's Coney Island, it's Brooklyn South.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about. Where was that? Let's go with that.
And it's always a good ribbon.
It's like Fort Worth.
I grew up on Long Island, so I'm a Long Island guy, but I worked in Brooklyn, and as you're military, you got out, you opened a bar. I was a cop. I got as soon as I retired, I opened up.
That's
a bar.
where you met your wife.
That's why. Yes, right.
Tigger is a mean bartender.
She's a good
She's
bartender.
Great. That's
She's
his
a good
wife.
bartender.
She's awesome.
But the pizza that you got today was from our location
Delicious.
in Roanoke called Benjamin's Pizza Kitchen.
Yes.
That's also yours.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
awesome. I named it after my little boy that's over there.
All right. All right.
I've
You ready
been
to take it over?
Yeah.
Maybe. I've been there before because we went there, you can see the fireworks in Roanoke, and we just happened to go on the patio. This was maybe 4 years ago. I think we were on the patio.
Right.
And that's how I knew you had that restaurant there. I didn't know you had it that long, but yes, the food. Tracy, old friend of mine, raved about the pizza there and the pasta and everything. The pizza sauce, the marinara sauce is really good. I just had.
Oh, you said marinara, right?
Marinara.
Yeah.
You said it right.
Gravy. It's gravy.
It's the right gravy sauce.
Is it gravy? Is it sauce?
Yeah.
But I had the. It's like a meat trio. It was like sausage, pepperoni. It was like all the meat on that. That was really good. I don't know if you had that. And the
No, not yet.
was really good.
I'm going to.
Mm.
I'll have some of the pizza in a little bit. But I guess it was 5 years ago, I was at Buffalo Joe's before I even knew who you were. I was at Buffalo Joe's. My brother-in-law took us down there because you guys run a huge football.
I saw pictures. It was like 2019. You were
Yeah.
in a football jersey.
Yeah, we're a big New York Giants bar and
Giants
the
bar,
New England
yeah.
Patriots. So
Yep, my wife is a huge Giant fan. She's like, we gotta go. I'm like, all right. So we went. I'm a Jet fan, but I went anyway. And I said,
it's all right. You're from New York. So
I'm from New York. So.
Go Chiefs.
But we went there. We had an amazing time. There was a guy in your bar. He was I don't know. It may have been you. I probably have a picture of you.
It was probably Benny.
He was like the king of the bar, and he got up on the.
No, that's Benny.
They already know.
He got up, and we were.
I never walk around and tell people I'm the owner. There's plenty of other people doing that for me.
But
he just walks around talking about their meatballs.
Yeah, we had an amazing time. And when you turned around and said, let's go to Buffalo Joe's, I'm like, wow, that rings a bell. And my wife goes, that's where we were for the Giant game. I'm like, all right. And it was a great time.
I'm glad you had a good time.
You have a beautiful establishment, great atmosphere,
Thank
great people who work there, and fantastic food. Very biker friendly.
The bartender chick that you had there, I forget her name. She was awesome. She was working it. She was running the tables and the bar. I know she was doing all that.
I think that was Darian. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
She was kicking ass.
Darian's good.
Now she started learning how to ride bike now. She bought
yeah, she was telling me she just bought one.
Yeah, she just bought one. So she's starting to learn how to ride bikes. So
she got a heritage.
Yeah.
That's right. I remember that.
You guys got some events coming up?
What parties are we having? Where are we meeting you at?
We're looking at a few, but we haven't pieced it together yet. And I've still got to get with actually the guy that North Texas Golf Warriors Association.
Mm-hmm.
One of the guys that's now on the board was actually deployed with me on my first time. He was in the same platoon as I was.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's actually him, and one of our members is also part of that. Kind of how we got together. So we do have a lot to talk about with them because we do eventually want to hold a golf tournament yearly with them, maybe coincide with that as well. So all of this is still kind of fresh and in the making. So we have a lot more kind of panned up that we're wanting to do. We haven't got it sorted out just yet.
Well, please, as soon as you guys have events, we'd love to kind of put those on our event page as well. That way, when people look at any events on just your club, any clubs, like anything that goes with our mission as well, we want to put those events on our event page so people have a common place to look for those events around.
But Troy, I think we're trying to start the biker night.
We want to do bike night.
Yeah, we're trying
All right,
to
hold
start.
on. We're going to talk about bike night in a minute.
No problem.
We're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, we're going to hear about the bike night and some more things that the club has planned. So do not go away. Stay tuned because you could be a part of it as well.
The reason why I made the decision to found and open Glenn Larson Law is for one simple reason. Every single client deserves to have their voice heard, their recovery made, and most of all, the closure and the compensation that they deserve. It has been my personal mission and personal dedication to making sure that every single thing we do with every ounce of loyalty, honor, certainty, and absolute unity to make sure that our client's story is told every single time. This is why I founded Glenn Larson Law.
Me and Glenn go way back. We first met in middle school. We were in high school together. We also worked together in college, waiting tables our first couple of years of school. And so we worked in the service industry together for a few years. So that kind of kept our tight bond together.
At Glenn Larson Law Injury Attorneys, we are passionate about serving our clients by honoring their stories, their voices, and their recovery. Our firm is built on the foundational principles of honor, certainty, passion, unity, and loyalty. To achieve our vision, we uphold our loyalty to our clients, each other, ourselves, our families, and our clients' families and friends in every single thing that we do. We are dedicated to providing exceptional support and guidance, ensuring that every client's journey is respected and valued. With absolute certainty, we stand ready. Call us. We are here to serve you in your time of injury, to make sure that you receive the compensation, the closure, and most of all, that your story is told.
My name is Art Lee. I invented LifeVac to protect my family. Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Dad.
That was us over 10 years ago.
Now, LifeVac is responsible for saving over 2,000 lives from choking.
We started this company in our garage, just hoping to make a difference, because over 5,000 lives are needlessly lost each year to choking incidents.
Help LifeVac on our mission to save lives.
In the time it takes you to pick up the phone and call, another life could be saved.
LifeVac's patented design creates a one-way suction to remove food or objects obstructing airways. All you have to do is place, push, and pull. And just like that, LifeVac can save a life from choking.
Quite frankly, I thought I was going to die. The LifeVac saved my life in 1-2 seconds.
Get your very own LifeVac now and get 20% off. Visit lifevac.net or call 877-LifeVac.
As my personal promise to you, if you order a LifeVac and have to use it, LifeVac will replace it free.
LifeVac works on adults, teens, or toddlers and can be ready in seconds and last a lifetime, guaranteed.
Best of all, you can even use a LifeVac on yourself, the elderly, physically impaired, or those that other methods may not be possible or are dangerous. In the event of a choking emergency, you could save a life, even your own.
Thank you, Daddy.
Life is precious and time matters.
Choking can happen anywhere. Help us put a LifeVac in every home, school, restaurant, car, office, everywhere.
Protecting families has always been our mission. I'm sure you love your family like I love my daughter. Do us all a favor and get your own LifeVac now.
LifeVac saves lives. Order one for your home, the office. It also makes a great gift. Use promo code Jackie and save 20%. Don't wait another minute. A life might depend on it. Go to lifevac.net or call 877-LifeVac. That's lifevac.net or 877-LifeVac. Order now.
Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network. Hey, as Lori Montoya puts these trauma bags together for our motorcycle community, it's the best gift you can give to somebody that you hope they never use. If you saw that last commercial for LifeVac, Arthur Lee is the inventor of LifeVac, and I just want to do a little promo for him because that too is the best gift you can give somebody that you hope you never use. It's an anti-choking device that has been successful in 98% of the time. It doesn't take away the Heimlich maneuver, but for people in wheelchairs, the elderly, laying down patients, they have worked on this for over 10 years. And it has been very, very successful. Go to lifevac.net. They are very inexpensive. All my kids have them in their cars because of my grandkids. So lifevac.net, the best gifts you can give somebody that you hope they never have to unwrap. Before we get into your some of your events, I just want to bring up July 19th, the Ride for Suicide, Hear My Cry Foundation. Tavana Moore lost her husband to suicide and has been on a mission to raise awareness on the signs and symptoms of stress and depression. And that is going to be going on July 19th. Go to hearmycry.org and you can register. All the money helps promote therapeutic intervention for post-traumatic stress and for any type of stress. So that's coming up. And then July 4th, Celebrity Softball Classic will be starting to sell tickets for their Celebrity Softball Classic game. So
I already have your outfit picked out.
You already got the outfit picked out.
I do.
So
we're gonna do like a League of Their Own thing.
Yeah, yeah. That the Celebrity Classic Softball benefits over 24 different veteran, first responder, and personal organizations. Last year, they raised over $750,000 in charitable donations for those organizations. So please check out Celebrity Softball Classic. Be a part of it. It's a lot of fun. All the athletes, the movie stars, and the veterans that play in that game all give back, and they come there on their own dime, and they play at Ryder Stadium right here in Frisco. It's an amazing day for the kids. All the kids get the front rows because they don't want the parents, to be grabbing autographs. They want the kids to interact with all the athletes and all the stars. Last year they had people from 1883 and Yellowstone, and man, they had.
They have a lot of
my God, it was a lot of fun. So check that out. Celebrity Classics, Celebrity Softball Classic.
Once I get my pass.
Yeah, we are our passes.
You over there.
All right, so we're back. Let's talk about the bike nights. Bike nights are a great motivation for everybody to get out during the week and de-stress, right? So you guys are now going to start a bike night, huh?
So Thursday nights we're gonna have bike night at Buffalo Joe's. Anybody come in, anybody who's interested in the club, anybody who wants to donate, or just a vet who wants to hang out. Even if you aren't a vet, just come and hang out. It's a great time. A lot of bikes. It's a pretty big parking lot. We got stuff in front and back.
Right.
And like I said, just come out and.
Will Buffalo Joe's be running any specials on balls?
Oh yeah, we got plenty of
ball specials.
Yeah, we got specials. There'll be food specials, drink specials.
You get pool tables and
we got pool
poker
tables
night there when we showed up. So you got a lot of different.
Yeah, we do have a
activities
poker.
that
If you want to
happen.
play poker on it, we do have it on bike night as well, and we give away cash for the winner. So it's free to play. So.
Good, because I'm gonna lose all my money if I play.
It's free to play poker.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't. It's gambling is illegal, obviously.
Right.
But you
free.
play Texas Hold'em there. It's a tournament, and then I give out the cash prize. For the winner.
Okay. All right. Oh, very cool. Very cool. All right. So and that's every Thursday at Buffalo Joe's.
Right.
How do you sign up for that?
Just go there. It starts. Just
show
show up. I think it starts around 8:00, 7:00, somewhere around that time. So.
All right.
You got bands? You could like music and stuff?
We do for certain events. If this is a certain event we want to do, I'll have a band for it. But coming up on our 20-year anniversary in September, so we're probably gonna do some live music out there for that. 20 years in the bar business is tough.
What day's 20 years?
Yeah. Hey, you survived, so it means you're doing something right.
So we're doing a birthday party?
Being a Marine, you don't let nothing stop you to get to the mission.
The average lifespan of a bar is probably 3 to 5 years tops, unless you are corporate. But for privately owned locations, 3 to 5 is probably the lifespan of a bar.
For the main
but you're doing something right. You're providing the community with some good food, good entertainment, good atmosphere, and that's why 20 years. You're coming up on your 20-year mark.
So we throwing a party?
Yeah,
When's
we're throwing a big party. I got to figure out the actual date.
Okay, because we need to throw a party for this.
It's going to be sometime like the first week of September or the second.
But something he also does is every year he throws a big bash for the Marine Corps
Birthday.
The Marine Corps birthday on the
Goodbye.
10th, no matter what day it falls on, we celebrate Marine Corps birthday at my bar. We do the whole cake cutting ceremony and everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Toys for tots too.
And we do the toys for
We'll
tots
send
as
those
well.
dates to us. We'll put them
Yeah,
on our event
yep,
thing. I mean, there's
yeah.
no reason why we can put those on our event to let people know.
Now, if I know this is your clubhouse, but now say I'm not gonna say other clubs, but you have a beautiful space, a beautiful atmosphere at Buffalo Joe's. If say you wanted to rent that out for a private party,
It's available. I mean, just have to talk to me, you know.
You got to pass the
Okay.
screening.
Well,
Yeah.
not
Just
just
kidding.
that, but
I'm just.
you got to
kidding.
make sure
I'm
it's worth
kidding.
my while to shut down the bar.
I gotta.
You don't want to
It's
shut
gotta
it
be
down for
the
10 guys.
no, but you got a big enough space where if any you wanted to even take
Oh
half
yeah,
the bar,
good section off places. Yeah, we've done that.
Section it off.
Yeah, we
you
can
have,
do that.
You have
Yeah.
plenty of room just to
Oh, yeah, we
section
can
off
do
like
that.
a Chuck E. Cheese type of thing.
Right.
You know, you can run a couple of
Chuck E.
different
Cheese for
things.
Marines.
Charles G.
Yeah.
Entertainment.
So, yeah.
I like it. I like that it's all wood. It reminds me of like the old like pubs because I lived in Pennsylvania for a
Talking about
small.
wood.
Shut up.
You like wood.
But it's not like
balls.
it's not a stale environment. Like some bars you go into, it's like just some chairs and some tables, and like there's no like atmosphere to it. Like there is that's a bar atmosphere. Like that's a bar, which I like.
and you have things hanging all over the place, so you got great visual effects and like I said,
big TVs for the.
lot of
I was gonna say
TVs.
for the sports, you guys do a lot of sports viewing and stuff too.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view. We'll do like the big
Yep,
pay-per-views.
So you got
Yeah,
your
I'll
giant, still your giant Patriot thing, right?
Giants, Patriots, yes. Yeah.
What's that?
Well, this year should be interesting with the Giants signing, a couple big.
Giants.
Yeah, they got Russell Wilson and the Abdullah guy for a pass rusher. I think we should be pretty good. Definitely gonna give the Cowboys a run.
Oh, because that's like a big thing to like accomplish.
Well, I mean,
Cowboys.
we're gonna
as a Jet fan.
We're gonna beat the
I don't know
Cowboys.
what winning is about.
Cowboys are supposed to go to the Super Bowl every year. We're the most talented team in the NFL. Come on.
We got Mike Kislyak on with the Cowboys. No,
He
he's not
hates
on
when
it.
I call him Kislyak. I
Kislyak.
always butcher his name. Mike Kislyak.
Yeah, speaking about Mike, speaking about the Cowboys, Mike Kislyak,
now he's fucking up, too.
Kislyak.
Love
Mike,
you.
Mike and Aaron Wild with Hank 92.1 have started a Choose to Move. Go to Choose to Move, and it's getting yourself out. Especially, when we talk about wind therapy, when we talk about golfing and everything else. This is anything you got to do. Walking down a block, moving your body.
He was very active. Yeah.
Getting yourself active. Go to Choose to Move. Take a video, post it for Aaron and Mike, because this supports the community as a whole, builds better mental health, better physical health, and you just feel better about yourself. So Choose to Move. I want to thank Aaron Wild for beginning that movement. It's starting to grow.
Of water on your head like we did.
Well, we did the ice bucket water challenge. Ice bucket challenge.
It went all the way to Vegas.
Huh?
It went all the way to Vegas.
It went all the way to the UK.
It did.
It did.
Yes, because Stitch challenged me.
Yes.
I
Stitch
got
did
challenged
it.
from the UK.
You got challenged from the UK. It's just about, once again, it's just about getting out, doing something, getting off the couch, getting out of the four walls of your house. Stop worrying about bills, man. Stop worrying about the stresses in life. Stop worrying about home, the work and stuff like that. Get out there and just be happy. And I know Tigger is probably going, you should listen to your own friggin' words.
Well, she's like, everybody's going to worry about bills. It's hard not to worry about bills.
Bills are going to be there.
But
when you think about it.
Another avenue to keep your peace.
Yeah.
Find your people.
Because bills are going to be there. And if you stress about them, right?
Find your people and find your pub.
And find somebody who's got money to pay your bills.
That, I'm liking where you're going with this.
Easier for you to find somebody with money than me.
Have you ever been down on your luck? Here's how you find help.
Yeah, there you go. You guys want to close out with anything before we bring on Mongo for the Mongo log? You guys want to sit for the Mongo log?
We can.
All right,
but we want to.
They're going to sit here and eat
we
this
want to
damn
give out
pizza.
Happy birthday!
A happy birthday wish to our brother from another mother in Georgia, Mr. Flip Davis.
Yeah. All right, so it is a tradition. It is a tradition on the 99.
He's making it my tradition.
It is a tradition. We sing happy birthday all the time.
I drop a beat.
You drop the beat. So we're going to have to sing.
Let's see. All right.
We're going to have to sing.
You ready?
Even if it's
Be careful
bad,
what you wish for. Remember that.
We're going to have to sing. And this goes out to Flip
Davis.
Flip Davis in Georgia. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Flip. Happy birthday to you. That was pretty good. Hey, that was pretty good.
That wasn't bad.
That wasn't bad at all. I thought he was doing that on the board. I thought he was doing that on the board. Like, oh, that's cool. He's bringing in a little beat on the board, and here she is spitting
No,
into
it's
the
the
mic.
white girl.
Wow, I am impressed.
Talent.
Hell yeah.
See what happens when you put balls in her mouth?
Magic sauce. It's magic sauce.
All right. Is Mongo on? All right, let's bring Mongo up real quick. Mongo.
What's happening, everybody?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Another day in paradise on the left coast.
Well, we got all our veterans here. Mongo is a Marine himself.
Hoorah.
Hoorah.
I don't want to say former Marine or ex, because once
never
a
a
Marine,
former.
always a Marine.
Always a Marine.
Mongo, how's sunny California?
You know what? It's very nice. I actually spent 2 days doing work on my dad's beach house up the coast. I was out of communication with everything. It was hard work, but it was very peaceful. Sat down at the end of the day, had the ocean in front of me with a cigar and my whiskey. No phones. It was very nice. I enjoyed it.
Did he say no clothes?
No clothes.
Did that what he said?
You said no clothes or
said
no
no
phones?
I had clothing on. I had
Oh,
no phone
no
on.
clothes.
I did too. So
I heard
no phones.
I heard no phone.
I was like,
You just gave Pitbull a great visual. She's like Mongo with no clothes, just overlooking with whiskey and a cigar.
I mean, I'm picturing a bumper sticker.
It was chilly. It wouldn't have been pretty.
Yes.
Mongo, man, what do you got for us this week?
With your clothes on.
Well, speaking of chilly weather, my monologue is on the extreme weather and our future evolution.
All right.
That sounds deep.
All right, you ready to go?
We're ready to go.
All right, here we are.
All right.
The United States is Earth's punching bag for nasty weather. Blame geography for the U.S. getting hit by stronger, costlier, more varied, and frequent extreme weather than anywhere on the planet. Or so say several experts. That's only part of it. Nature blessed this country with a diverse and fertile land, but dealt the United States a bad hand when it comes to the very diverse and frequently unexpected extreme weather conditions. It's really never been a question of where and how we will build. We build along the coast and along our major river basins into the interior of our nation. With the interstate freeway system, we tend to plop cities down along these easy trade routes. Don't get your panties twisted. I realize we've built everywhere in this great land of ours. I'm only really talking about the major urban centers. Anywhere that the experts have told a group of settlers or investors where we should build, we have built. Now, after all of this great advice and direction from the experts, a different type of expert has come along and condemned us for our out of control and reckless building policies. Here's the thing about the experts. They tend to have biased agendas. Their research is funded by grants, universities, and various foundations that all have their own agendas. You've probably noticed that year in and year out, our seasons change, as do the tides and the weather. One summer it's the hottest on record, one winter it's the coldest. Then we have an El Nino weather pattern, followed a couple years later by a nice summer, but the biggest snow accumulation in decades during the winter. Our weather is diverse and inconsistent. What is consistent, however, is our short memories. When the climate experts begin to explain these unsettling trends in global warming and global cooling, we can't recall the weather last Friday, much less 20-year trend. There was at one time a completely different stage of human beings, as well as different social groups and different conditions leading up to the Ice Age. And yet it still happened. Now fast forward through human evolution and world exploration, conquest and occupation. Here we are in North America. Despite humans not having down-filled coats and solar-heated dwellings, humans have struggled through the tough times, continuing to help each other and eventually evolving into modern humans today. There will always be climate change, regardless of what we are driving and how much money we put out to various climate agendas. We have a unique topography in and around the United States. Our land is bookended by two oceans, the Gulf of America, the Rocky Mountains, the jutting peninsula called Florida. These weather magnifiers clash against storm fronts and the jet stream. All these combine to naturally brew the nastiest weather conditions. Then add the theory of climate change, whether it be man-made or naturally occurring climate change, and buckle up, Buttercup, we have extreme weather events. The U.S. is by far the king of tornadoes and other severe storms. With cooler air up in the Arctic and warmer air in the tropics, the area in between them, the mid-latitudes where the United States is currently located, gets the most interesting weather because of how the air interacts with clashing temperatures. The north and south temperature gradients drives the jet stream. Now add mountain ranges that run north and south with cutting winds jutting and flowing from west to east, while just south of these cooler winds and underneath it all is the toasty Gulf of America. The Gulf injects hot, moist air underneath the often cooler and dry air lifted by the mountains, and this doesn't happen really anywhere else in the world quite like it does in the United States. We are blessed with tornadoes, hurricanes, flash floods, droughts, wildfires, blizzards, ice storms, nor'easters, lake effect snow, severe thunderstorms, hail, lightning, atmospheres, river, derechos, dust storms, monsoons, bomb cyclones, and the dreaded polar vortex. All of these are annual and anticipated weather events. My personal opinion on all of this is this: regardless of who I give my money to or if I never drive my truck again, I ain't changing the weather. The extreme weather triggered by America's unique geography creates hazards. It takes humans to turn these hazards into disasters. Just look where cities pop up in America, as well as the rest of the world. They are near water that floods, with the exception of maybe Denver. For economic reasons, more people are moving to these areas, such as the South, where there are, of course, more hazards. According to many experts, our infrastructure is crumbling and nowhere near being climate resilient at all. Construction standards tend to be at the bare minimum required and less likely to survive these extreme storms. That doesn't even count the economical trailer hoods that are very prevalent in the tornado belt. One of the ways in which we can make our communities more resilient is to not develop them in the most hazard-prone way or in the most hazard-prone portion of the local geography. The inconsistence on building up barrier islands and development of these barrier islands, particularly on the East Coast and the Gulf Coast, knowing that sand is going to move and also have hurricanes hit with some anticipated frequency, seems like a colossal waste of money. But what do I know? I'm not an engineer, nor a construction expert. I only watch the news and the disastrous after effects of these extreme weather events. Developers and investors continue to develop and build because they continue to profit. After all, the almighty dollar is still king. Here's the thing, however, humans are being timed out. Evolution is creeping up on the human race, and we're all doomed to lose this race. As early as 2100, the global population size could be less than it is now. You know what? That should probably be 2200, but I wrote 2100. So 2200. The global population size could be less than it is now. In most countries, including the poor ones, the birth rate is now well below the death rate. In some countries, the population will soon be half of the current value. People are now becoming worried about underpopulation. Leave it to our democratic politicians to loudly promote immigrants as our hope for keeping society populated. Apparently, immigrants are fertile and willing to participate in breeding exercises. This is, by the way, actually one of the Democratic talking points supporting illegal immigration. Mammal species tend to come and go rather rapidly, appearing, flourishing, and disappearing during the course of a couple thousand years or so. Currently, there is more genetic variation in a few troops of wild chimpanzees than in the entire human population. Lack of genetic variation is never a good thing for a species' long-term survival. What's more, over the past few decades, the quality of human sperm has declined massively, possibly leading to lower birth rates for reasons that nobody is really sure about. Pollution as a byproduct of human degradation of the environment is one possible factor. Another might be stress, which I suggest could be triggered by living in close proximity to other people for long periods of time. The most insidious threat to humankind is something called the extinction debt. There comes a time in the progress of any species, even ones that seem to be thriving, when extinction will be inevitable. No matter what they might do to avert it. Collectively, we are driving the Earth and civilization towards collapse. Human activities have exceeded planetary boundaries. We are changing the climate, losing biodiversity, degrading land, contaminating fresh water, and damaging the nitrogen and phosphorus cycles upon which we all depend. Human beings are on this timeline, and unfortunately, time is counting down. Of course, short of a nuclear annihilation, we, the current occupants of Earth, will not see the end of humankind. Make no mistake, however, the clock is running out on human beings. I suspect that the human population is set not just for shrinkage, but for collapse. It's true, the signs are already here for those willing to see them. When the habitat becomes degraded such that there are fewer resources to go around, when fertility starts to decline, when the birth rate sinks below the death rate, and when genetic resources are limited, the only way is down and out. I certainly hope that this message in this monologue has cheered everyone up. We will, of course, continue to kick the can down the road and possibly give money to various organizations that will ultimately do nothing to enhance our chances for survival. Our clock is definitely counting down, and I honestly don't know if there's anything that we can do to change the inevitable. And that, my friends, is that. My name is, here we go, Whiskey. Okay, let me try it. And that, my friends, is that. Whiskey improves with age, and I improve with whiskey. My name is Mongo. Whiskey goes in, wisdom comes out. I smoke cigars and I know things. Mongo is out, and now back to you in the studio.
What's up, baby?
Hey, you think I've been drinking this afternoon?
You've been drinking?
I think you've been drinking some liberal tea.
Yeah. All right. That was not a monologue that I expected. Are the liberals running off on you a little bit?
Oh no. Hey, like I said, no matter what we do, we're not changing anything. It is what it is.
Oh, without a doubt, and but we were just laughing, and the guys in the studios turned around and said, you know what, if we can't do anything about it, let's go out and ride.
Absolutely.
But you're right, man. I mean, there are things that we can change, so why worry about them? I mean, the world has been around, the earth has been around for millions of years, and if farts aren't going to change the world.
And like I said, nothing's happening in our lifetime. No matter what we give our money to or how much of it we give, it is what it is. We're going to survive as long as we possibly can. And sometime down the road, in a couple thousand years, history says we're going to time ourselves out. It is what it is.
Well, that
I think that the where the Cowboys play, what's that thing called?
The stadium.
Yeah, no, but what's it called? Jerry World.
Jerry World.
I think that's a spaceship. And then eventually, in like 20 years, it's going to lift off. It's going to take a certain amount of elite away from the
that was a cool Boston album cover back in the 70s.
Yeah, she's thinking like Men in Black with the world. Remember Men in Black with the World's Fair, the Queens. There were actually spaceships up there.
Exactly.
Fifth Element.
So Jerry is an alien.
Well, yeah, he's in the same fucking ice bucket as Billy or Bob. What's his name that does Price is Right?
Bob
Barker. Him and Bob Barker share a freezer together.
Billy Bob Barker.
Billy Bob Barker. Yeah, all of them.
We went from Jerry Jones to The Price is Right
because they freeze them. They don't age. They just like open the freezer when they need to speak in public, and then they put them back in their little capsule.
I think Bob Barker is dead.
Is he?
Barker's been dead.
Is he?
That's why it's
Adam Sandler killed him.
But is he?
That's why it's what's his name from.
Okay, so Bob Barker.
Drew Carey took Bob
partying with
Barker's place.
Tupac and Biggie. It's happening.
Oh,
I know.
You triggered Pitbull. You triggered her.
You put me after 5 o'clock.
I can't hear you, Mongo.
I'm not talking.
Oh, I saw your lips moving. I thought you triggered Pitbull. Now she's thinking Jerry is an alien and Cowboy Stadium is going to lift off.
Yeah, it is.
It would actually be something significant for the Cowboys.
it would be the only thing significant.
He's a Raider fan. He's a Raider
Oh,
fan.
God.
Who's a Raider fan?
No.
Hey, I like the Cowboys. When my son was born in '92, I had to convert from Raiders to Cowboys because I didn't want Raider paraphernalia because back in the Southern California, that'd get you shot.
Oh.
So I've been following the Cowboys since '92, literally, and they've not done much since the late '90s.
No.
Was that the year that they beat the Bills 52-17?
Bills 52-17.
Was it? What was that? The year they beat the Bills?
Yeah, that was like 98, 99.
They're really the only true New York team, the Buffalo Bills. The only true New York team.
The only one that actually resides in New York.
The one that resides in New York. They got their own stadium. Mongo, once again, man, give us your perspective on what else do you think's going on in this country besides in the current news, not so much on the climate, the things that you're hearing.
Well,
how's
you know what?
fair weathering?
I enjoy every day listening to Holman talk about rounding up the illegals and how it pisses off the liberals that he does this day in and day out. I've got no problem with it. Good for him. He's got a job that's going to keep him at least employed for the next 3 years, depending upon who wins the next election.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know it or not, but we just got a new police chief here in Dallas who is on the same page with the immigration and
Dallas or Fort Worth?
Dallas.
Oh,
Dallas. Yep. New police chief who is going to be following those same agendas. What's your take on what happened in Denver with our Molotov cocktail thrower?
Yeah, well,
coward.
He did a shitty job. He should have caught himself on fire sooner and better. Unfortunately, I think it's going to inspire too many others to be copycats of some sort or another. And with the people that we've let into this country, we have plenty available to go around. So yeah, it's sad. I'm glad. I don't think anybody's died to this point, not that I've heard. So I don't think the death penalty is available to him. But I hope he rots in hell. I mean, I really do.
Yeah, and then we got those two Chinese nationalists that were bringing in that biological, which was very, very scary.
That's the scary one right there.
That was the most.
They're not the only ones because that's happened before. And I heard this morning somebody said that.
Wait, back up.
Basically, Secretary of State Rubio. They said Rubio should revoke all of their student visas and send them all back.
Yeah.
We've only got like 500 of our people over there going to school, and they've got like 30,000 over here going to school. It's crazy.
And they brought in what do they call them? AGA terrorism weapons.
Right.
They contaminate our vegetation. They contaminate our water source, and they'll kill our population.
Right.
And you have no trace. So that means every time you go to a grocery store, every time you go drink water, this
reminds me of the Tylenol killings that happened in 1983. Do you remember that story?
Yeah.
Tylenol. There was a guy that fucked with Tylenol. I just saw the Netflix.
Yeah.
You see that Netflix series?
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Like there was a guy that put fake capsules in Tylenol and just hits a bunch of random people. Yeah.
Well, this biological warfare could have wiped out cities and states just by you going shopping.
People are.
It's scary. It's a scary thing, and I'm glad we got an administration now that's going to secure our borders, secure our country. And you know what? Like I said, we are not against the immigration aspect. We are against the illegal immigration.
Yeah,
because that's where come in legally. We have no problem.
I understand.
Do it legal.
Do it legal.
Like
do
the
it.
rest of us did.
I understand.
The media seems to be dumbfounded right now as to why the fentanyl seizures have gone down on the southern border. They don't understand why the cartels aren't sending the fentanyl into America anymore, which, by the way, they are. But they don't understand that it has nothing to do with the cartels. It has to do with our administration stopping the illegal crossings into this country, carrying the fentanyl with them.
Right. Yeah. You don't.
The media, they haven't figured that out. I mean, they really what's going on? Have they found a new way? No, they haven't. We found a new way. We stopped them at the border.
Yeah. And what do you think about this magic pen?
Wait, what?
You know what? I hope that the reason that they really haven't talked a lot about it right now is because they're trying to delay it until the midterms before they really dig deep and dive deep into this investigation, because there were people that were signing shit for that dude. He had no idea.
Like all his pardons.
Oh yeah, no, he was really a useful idiot. They wheeled him out. They put him in front of the camera and they wheeled him away.
I told you.
Put him in front of the TV watching cartoons and eating ice cream, and he was content. He had no idea what was going on.
No, and they were just signing stuff. So it's going to be very interesting in the next couple of months how all this stuff pans out. And we see, who's going to be going to jail politically. And let's just touch on the East Coast, West Coast thing with P. Diddy.
Itty bitty titty diddy. Itty bitty diddy's titty.
What's the
I heard
what's
you got an
the
itty
tempo
bitty
over
titty
in California about the P. Diddy crisis?
Well, I'm not paying real close attention. I understand what's going on. I really hope that the prosecuting attorneys in this case do not handle this the way they handled the other big cases like OJ, where they throw tons of bullshit out there and then very little of the very important stuff. Because my wife, she seems to think that he's going to walk on this thing. I said, no, you know what? I said, I think they'll wait until the end and then just hit the jury with all this stuff. But right now, it doesn't sound like they've met the elements of what he's actually being charged with, running this criminal enterprise. Yeah, he's beat his girlfriend a few times, and he's probably done some salacious things. But I hope that the prosecution changes their tactic. But again, I don't know exactly what they're doing because I'm not watching it that closely.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to walk on this.
I think they're going to hit him. It's going to be like a.
I think it's only a matter of time before some big Hollywood person who's going to flip and be like, yeah, this was it, because they're all running away from him now. They're trying to distance themselves and lawyer up and leave the country and whatever. But before you know it, someone's going to turn. Did he do it?
But did he do it?
Yeah, they just had the hotel guy. They had the hotel guy on there. Did he paid him $100,000 to clear that tape?
Did he done it? Did it?
Yeah, well, I hope he goes. I know that he's looking like shit in court with his gray hair now.
Yeah, with his like Menendez sweater on and bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking please. Guilty as fuck.
All right, so that's 9.
I got one more.
Were you only allowed 10 words?
I'm only on.
The OBBM network and Roku TV and Apple TV is tired of hitting the bleep 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 button.
Am I allowed any? Because I've been careful.
You've been careful. You've been good.
We can just cancel you. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Well, that seems like bullshit.
I know it is. They'll cancel me first.
Well, Mongo, always a pleasure. I appreciate your diligence in getting all these facts all together. Looking forward to next week when you're on, and hopefully no current events will happen that has to make the Mongo logs change.
Sounds good. All right,
brother.
We'll talk to y'all later. Have a good week.
You too. Take care.
Adios.
Play the Mongo log out.
What we believe in at Glenn Larson Law is doing one thing and doing it really well. When I meet people, I always tell them we're going to uncover every single rock possible. That's the medical component, that's your story, and your voice.
We've solely focused on personal injury, whether that be a slip and fall accident or a commercial 18-wheeler, a motorcycle or DWI, motor vehicle accident. We specialize in that and that only.
When someone says, my neck really hurts, I know exactly how that feels. There's so much more to an injury case dealing with the pain level that people go through and how it affects their lives. And I know how to advocate to make sure that the insurance companies take all of that in consideration in every case.
We're very transparent and open to always keep them informed and stay on top of their case at all times.
Because we're a little bit smaller in team numbers, we're able to really dive into every single case and develop not only a client relationship, but a friendship and a lifelong connection.
We're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We'll meet you anywhere, at the scene, in the hospital, at your home. Whatever's best for the client, we will do every single time.
There is a connection component that I believe our firm is committed to. We want to be connected with you and your family beyond this case so that you know that you have a lifelong partner. Not just a case, but a lifelong connection and a lifelong voice. And we look forward to serving you.
Hey, welcome back to the 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl, brought to you by the Glenn Lawson Law, the accident injury attorneys, and the Biker Wolfpack. Just dial 737 the Wolf, 737 the Wolf. Man, Pitbull, man, we are on a 3-hour show. What do you think so far?
3-hour tour.
3-hour
It's
tour.
a long ass tour.
It's a long ass tour.
But we're trucking. It's all good.
You know, we got so much content that we want to fill in, and I want to let everybody know we're bringing in Billy Ball.
Yes. Our hemp specialist.
Our hemp specialist, with Planet Harvest, because once again, last week she had brought so much information to our
alternative
health, man, to our veteran community, and she has proven time and time again, not only with our veterans, and I got to say, with my dogs, we rescue, and she has given me some amazing edibles for our fur dogs that man,
But
the
you
storms,
quality controlled it though, right?
Huh?
You quality controlled before you gave it to him.
She gives me my own stuff.
Okay.
She
But no, she's got creams. She's got everything. It's not just about the dogs.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
tons
yeah.
of stuff she does. I mean, we are joking about the hemp aspect of it, but like the true benefits that you get from the hemp.
That cream paste that she gives
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Man, I mean,
cuticles, wounds, anything like it's like a cure-all cream.
It really
And
works.
with the gummies, with the dogs and the storms, and because your dog suffers from
Seizures.
anxiety and seizures and
Mhm.
stuff like that from the storms, right?
Well, the one liquid that she gave me for the dog seizure, which it's almost like a Narcan. The dog goes into a seizure as soon as I put that dropper in the dog's mouth, within 3 seconds out of the seizure.
I've seen that with the
And
humans.
I have had stuff from the vet, didn't work. I've had tried all these alternative stuff, nothing worked. Everything from Planet Harvest has, and I'm just not boosting them up because she's coming on the show.
She
and
doesn't pay us.
She doesn't pay us.
We actually like her stuff.
If you are a pet owner and your dog is or any of your animals are suffering from like thunder anxiety, I've had those thunder coats on my animals.
Shirts, yeah.
That
My dog does.
Yeah.
she gives us these little peanut butter tablets, and when a storm's going to come, I give each dog a tablet, calms them down. They don't shake.
And she tweaks it.
Yeah.
She tweaks it for your dog because
For your
your dog is a certain amount of pounds. My
Yep.
dog's a certain amount of pounds. So I just
Yeah.
got the first set for my Biggie, my notorious DOG dog, which is a pit bull Rottweiler mix, who's huge. So
Have you given it to him yet?
not quite because I'm waiting for the right scenario to really monitor it.
Well, and one thing
because
that's
she's a dominant, she's just not fixed.
But
So
you could still give this to the dog each and every day. It calms their anxiety level down. So say you have a dog that's very
anxious.
Yeah, anxious every time someone comes to the house. You give the dog this every day, and it has no effects on the dog medically. It just calms the dog down, and it is amazing
And
stuff.
that's just the dogs and the cats.
Yeah.
I mean, what it does for humans.
He was that phenobarbital.
What it does for the
Yeah, it's got
humans.
peanut butter in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because we had a little dog, and he had seizures,
Yeah.
and he was taking phenobarbital, and that thing,
Mine takes Phena.
that thing is like makes him a zombie.
Well,
So if this stuff works better,
oh yeah. Oh my God. What I'll do is I have some of the stuff at home. When Billy comes,
Oh, she'll be on. Yeah.
yeah, she'll be on next
She'd
week. I'll
love
see if
this
she
is
can
like
bring
her
a little dropper. I have only one of my dogs goes into the seizures, but when he goes into the seizure, sometimes it will last a minute and a half,
which is a long
right?
time.
Which is a long time.
It's not good for him. Yeah.
But if I put the dropper in his mouth, it immediately kicks him out of the seizure.
I've seen that with humans. Have you seen like the video of like the guy who was getting the seizures and
Well,
like
it was a Parkinson's guy.
Parkinson's? That's what it was.
And that's CBD oil.
Yes, and they did a couple drops, and it was just like you saw him just slowly calm it down. I mean, I swear by this stuff.
Now, didn't Abbott just fucking kill the whole?
Yeah,
yes, I have to stock up here soon.
Like CBD and everything, he's killing it all. So
yeah, and there was a bunch of vets that are trying to sign a petition to tell him that this is why we need this.
The problem is gonna be like, especially all the cancer victims. I mean,
Yep.
it's fantastic for cancer.
It's fantastic.
I mean, at
minimum,
minimum, medically should be allowed.
Yes.
No, I mean, and it's not that hard. Like if you got a cancer or something that's that bad to where you need it, Parkinson's even, I mean, you can get a sign off.
I mean, it's so
well.
proven.
Billy takes care of a veteran.
Yes.
Each and every. I mean, she goes there every day. She takes care of him.
She's a badass. We love
and
Billy.
when you say Parkinson's, I don't know if he's suffering from that, but he has the shakes and the whole bit. She gives him some of these, and he can have a cup of coffee without shakes.
Yeah.
He doesn't. So I disagree with
I do disagree with them.
Putting a kibosh on this because it does help so many people in the veteran community, in the cancer world.
Because even the VA was using
it. You know what? But big pharma is finding out that they're losing money because.
But that's why all the cigarette companies are investing in marijuana because they're like, oh hell.
It's all about money. It's all about big business.
I think it's bullshit to like take it away for like. I'm just going from my personal view, and you can judge me on whatever. I do smoke here and there, and for me to be able to go to a place that I can go that's regulated, it's a storefront, I can get it. I don't have to go to a guy on a fucking corner, and I can get what I need.
You don't know what you're getting, right?
I've been doing it since I was 12 years old.
Yeah,
I have anxiety. I have a lot of things I deal with. This is my normal medication. A lot of people don't even fucking know I'm doing it. Because it's just normal for me, and I don't think it's right.
You didn't take it today, though.
How do you know?
Because you've dropped the F-bomb 5 times in just that sentence.
How is that different from yesterday? But I'm just saying, like, I mean, I just think it's wrong to take it away and make it harder for people to find something that's. It's no different than the glass of wine.
Billy's on right now.
Yeah, it's no different than somebody having a glass of wine, in my opinion.
I 100% agree. So Planet Harvest, man. Billy is going to be on the show. I'm going to try to have her on next week. I got to check out her availability. She can explain the ins and outs of it. Everything is safe, pet friendly, human friendly, no side effects. I don't know what else to say on that. I'm definitely rated a 10, but I will get you some of the stuff for your dog from Billy because once again, man, I'm a dog lover. We rescue.
Well, he's passed by now. He's passed now.
I think if things work for people and it doesn't harm anybody else,
it would have been nice if we would have had something like that.
Well, for any dog owner, it's great stuff to have. And we've tried everything at Petco and everything else. The only stuff that's ever worked on our dogs.
I'm not spending that much money on drugs.
The only
like
stuff that's
chemical
worked
drugs for my dog.
Well, you know what? I'll spend as much money as long as it works, and Billy's stuff works.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather do the all natural.
All natural. Yep.
Than
She
just
puts a lot.
Paying the paychecks of pharmaceuticals just to get by for the next drug.
Without a doubt. All right, before we wrap it up, if you're a veteran out there and you're looking for something to do, how can veterans out there in the DFW area? Actually, you guys only have the chapter here in Texas. Do you have them in other states as well?
We do. We have. Well, we're working on one in Arkansas. I've got a friend of mine in Tampa that I keep hounding on him to start one down there. We're all over the DFW Metroplex. I mean, we have Ray is probably as far as
we're
west
so
as
far
we got,
out there.
and we've got as far east as we have somebody in Emory. Michelle's in Emory. So, but we got, like I said, the guy in Arkansas near Texarkana, Hope area.
But we do only have one chapter.
Okay,
as
so
of now.
say there's a group right now, a veteran group in say Florida right now, and says, "Hey, listen, I love what I love what you guys are about. I love.
How do I start?
How do I start a chapter maybe in Florida if you're a veteran?
Go to honorguardvc.com, fill out an application. We do allow our church virtual, so we'll throw it on Google Chat, and we'll do our meetings virtual. So it's very possible to get members to start up chapters. They need 5 people. And they need to maybe a member for about a year before they could start their own. So they'd be part of the mother chapter for until then. But
okay, to make sure that they're without there's got to be a vetting process.
Well, the biggest thing is we definitely want quality. So we don't want it to go downhill quick. We want everything to be growing in a positive manner. So we would like to control that as much as possible.
Without it,
that's why we have certain things that the guys have to, guys and women have to go through and have criteria that you have to be a part of your group.
Yeah, we're not an MC, so we can't.
Anybody,
we're not an MC, so we can't prospect. But we have what they call FNGs. It's kind of it's a get to know you period on either way.
Like hang around kind
and
of thing,
that's definitely a military term. We call them fucking new guys. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's the biggest thing is like when they come and hang out with us, we want to see what do you like in a bar setting when you're drinking? What do you like in a sober setting? Right. What do you like in an event setting? And is this something that you really want to do with your excess time? And so that time is really for everybody to get to know each other and make sure on both ends this is something you really want to do. And then if that's the case, then
you want people that are going to uplift the club.
Correct.
Right. I mean, we do some fundraising, but not everybody joins for the fundraising part. I mean, it is a brotherhood. So we got a brotherhood and sisterhood. So we got to fit, like-minded. And the way our bylaws are, we pretty much have it set where our founders, even years down the road, they start changing the club a certain way. We can change it.
I'm going to tie your hands down.
I know.
Stop slapping the table. What do I do
We're
with
almost
my
done.
hands?
And I'm not even Italian.
That wasn't even a bongos. That was worse than Glenn. That was actually worse than Glenn.
Sorry.
But what we're gonna do?
That's me in public speaking. There you go.
I like it.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna put your logo, if you don't mind. We're gonna throw your logo on our partnership page on our website, and all you'll have to do is just click their logo, and it will bring you right to your page. Awesome. This way, if you didn't catch their page, you can always go onto the 99% Radio Network. Go to our partnership page. You'll see the Honor Guard link. You can click it. You can learn everything you want to know about Honor Guard. You can learn on how you can join it. You can reach out to these men and find out what it takes to be part of Honor Guard.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I want to thank you guys and girls, ladies, for being here. And I want to thank Buffalo Joe's. Buffalo Joe's, check it out. What's the address, Buffalo Joe's?
3636 Frankfort Road, Dallas, Texas.
3636 Frankfort Road in Dallas, Texas. Check out for any of their events.
Get the meatballs.
The food is amazing. Football season is
it's right around the corner.
Right, and there's no better place to be than Buffalo Joe's for football season. I can attest to that. That is a great crowd that you guys have there. And you know what I thought was going to be a rivalry, but it's fun, man. It's just some banter back and forth, but no issues whatsoever. And you don't usually see that in the bar. It's a lot of friendly joking around and rooting for each other and drinking and eating, and just it makes for a good Sunday football game.
Yeah,
so
Sunday fun day.
Sunday fun day at Buffalo Joe's.
I like it.
All right.
You're gonna go. You're gonna have Buffalo Joe's on Sunday football.
We're gonna hit Buffalo.
We got a Sunday football coming.
I'm gonna ride my old man bike.
Night.
I'm gonna ride my old man bike up there.
Yeah, you know what?
And Thursday night bike night.
Don't ever apologize for that.
I didn't apologize. Did I apologize?
Benjamin's had the same atmosphere, just a little smaller venue.
Which one?
Benjamin's, the other.
The one in Roanoke.
Oh, the one in Roanoke.
But it's right, it's got the nice patio right there.
They're a Green Bay Packer bar.
Oh no! See,
so we don't
want to turn people off.
So a bunch of cheeseheads.
I mean,
Benjamin's is a Green Bay Packer bar.
It's a good thing Charlie's not here, huh?
His girls.
My son-in-law is all about Green Bay. He loves Green Bay. He's a cheesehead.
I'm a tailgater. I don't care who's
Saints.
playing.
So I went to that game when Dez T.O. didn't catch the ball, or was it Dez didn't catch the ball? I forgot. Sorry, I know. I'm sorry. I was at that game.
He is from New York, so
I just gonna let you know.
He's from New York, so you got to give. He talks with his hand.
Yeah, I'm sitting on my hands, so I didn't move them around. One slipped out. But no, I'll tell you what, the Green Bay Packer fans out in Green Bay are actually really nice people. I mean, I don't know if they'd have been nice if we would have won. It was a playoff game. The Cowboys were winning, and Tony Romo threw another loss. but
shocking.
They were very nice to us. And
Those who can't do teach. That's why he's the host.
Where was that?
Benjamin's Pizza Kitchen is on 295 West Byron Nelson Boulevard.
All right, that's Green Bay's home, huh?
It's right across from Hawaiian Falls.
All right, so I'm gonna have to bring my son-in-law down there. We're gonna have to.
I'm gonna be there tomorrow. I'm gonna be at Hawaiian Falls.
It's walking
tomorrow.
distance from the VFW.
I'm gonna be at Hawaiian Falls tomorrow. It's my son's birthday.
All right.
It's not raining too much.
It's
tomorrow. It's Texas. She's
bipolar.
It's
bipolar weather.
Wait an hour. It'll change.
Yeah, it will change.
Well, I'll be over eating pizza.
We do. We get a lot of the kids that
I'll
walk
be
down
over
the
this.
street.
Remember me?
Well, I want to thank you guys once again for everything you do for our biker and our veteran community. If we can help you on the 99 in any way, please let us know. We'll support you guys and we'll promote all your events as usual. And that's what it's all about. It's about uplifting where the rubber meets the road. We can make a difference together. Tune in as the 99% Radio Network grows. We want you to grow with us. We're bringing in more content. We have lawyers, we have physical fitness. We're going to have, Billy Ball with Planet Harvest with alternative medicine. We have Lori Montoya with Biker Down, and we're going to just keep continuing to grow, bring you all the information you need to be safe on the road, safe at home, and to be a better part of the community and make yourself be a better part of yourself.
Beer, booze, bikers, and health. We're all about it.
Beer, booze, bikers, and boobs.
Babes.
Babes. Babes, boobs.
Balls.
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 All right, man. We're gonna leave on the ball note. We're gonna leave on the ball note. But next week we're gonna have the Thin Blue Line LEMC here. They're always a good time. They got some big events coming up. They actually have a golf outing that we were part of last year, where she Grand Lawsoned a golf cart.
I didn't get caught.
You didn't get caught though. But tune in next week for more content with the Thin Blue Line, LEMC, and much more. Until next week, if you could be anything in this world, be kind. Peace.